Okay, here we go again. I
All
put
right,
that group chat.
guys, welcome to
I put the, we need to group that mute chat. Oh my gosh, how did I say group that mute chat? Mute that group chat.
Oh, trust me, I did before we
I
did
did,
this,
so we can talk. So
and then
because
I
we're gonna
sent
get
you a tweet because the actress who
yeah,
played Kim put out a really nice message, and I'm
we
like,
do love
okay, at least that's like, I mean,
yeah,
bittersweet, but like it's a really
yeah,
good message. So,
yeah. Cool, cool.
um,
So this is kind
anyway,
of like the truth speaks, but not because it's not the same story.
yeah, welcome to the very first reading slash explanation of the Resistance.
Yeah, it's called.
You
So we
can't
kind
see
of
me,
hinted
but I'm
about that.
doing jazz hands.
Yes. So in that last episode of the podcast, which we recorded 2 seconds ago, uh,
Literally.
we talked about we were like we came up with this story in my head. So basically, I've always loved the dystopian future type stories. I love them. That is like my favorite things to read and talk about. So we were like, how do we do this but SVU?
You
Because I
literally
don't know
had
what
a
I
dream
said.
about it,
I did. I don't remember what it was about. I can't
and you
remember.
texted it to me, and I woke up to seeing it the next morning. I was like, "You're a genius.
Yeah, I
We're
don't even know what
writing
it.
this."
Yes, we did. So it is. It's a very
Like
we.
there, it,
What are we hiding? We're not. So we're trying to go in sequential order when we talk about this. So we don't.
oh
Go.
frick!
There's not really much of that because we haven't finished the story
I
yet. But it's,
forgot to share my other Twitter. Hold up, keep
oh,
talking.
okay. So
I
I
just
gotta
need to
pull up the
know if
story.
this is good or bad.
Yeah, my burner. When nothing pops up on my burner, I usually get
Oh,
weird tweets on my
oh,
burner.
oh!
Stop looking. Don't talk about it.
No,
Right.
I can't. It's called Flying High, Defying Gravity.
Stop.
There's a fic that's called that. How
Oh,
am I
okay.
not supposed to look at it when it's so
We're
close
working.
from Wicked?
Fine.
Alright, keep talking.
Okay, hold on. I opened the
I'm gonna
wrong one.
read.
I opened the wrong one. What do you mean you're gonna read? You can't just abandon me to talk about this
I'm
story.
sitting here, I'm just reading.
Fine. There, okay, so well, this originally just started off as a checklist of things, so I can remember what the ideas I had in my head. I kind of wrote this a little bit. Oh, do you remember what my dream was? My dream was this dystopian future, and but it ended up this idea never made it into the story yet. But it was like dystopian future where like don't like I don't like it's kind of the Handmaid's Tale, but not because we didn't have that part of the story.
I
It's more
don't even
like
think of it as like a future.
it's not.
Future. We
It's
literally
not
were
really.
like, it's
Literally
now.
it's like 6 months from like the part of the story that we wrote. It's 2022. Don't really know how they got there, but I guess we'll talk about that later. Because they talk about a lot of the characters talk about like when everything changed, but that day we have not written, which would be fun. We'll write that at some point. Oh, the lights turned off again. Okay, so like basically the dream will make more sense when we talk about it. But like so it's this dystopian type future in which women are subordinate to men.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they can't none of them can work. Well, you only for some women work, but there are very specific things you can do. Hold on, I'm turning the light back on again because this is a turn on the lights kind of story. Okay, some women can work. There's certain jobs they can do, but most of them they can't do. So and it involves a lot of the thing that we used a lot of is the police, which in this story they're called the blue wall.
Because that's like what the thing is.
The slang term for the police is blue wall, so we use it as there. And like disrespecting a man gets you in big trouble as a woman.
Oh yeah, it does.
Big trouble.
And knowing all of our characters,
yeah,
that goes.
And either your husband can punish you for it, or if their husband has to give permission to that man, and he can also punish you, and that's a problem. And my dream is that happens to Barson in this situation, but and I was like, we can play off of this, so we did, but we haven't gotten there yet. So the beginning that we start in, we'll do like a flashback for them eventually of the day that everything changed, which there's no particular day this is yet, but we'll find out at some point. But like, they have a very particular dress code that they have to follow. They have to follow the dress code, which is very particular about like women wear dresses and skirts, and they all have to be covered. And well, and men most of the men wear suits most of the time. I think everyone. Nobody dresses casually. Casual does not exist. Not even in your own house. Most people are still dressed up in their house.
Yeah. We like made it like we have something later.
They're very
like, we still have our old clothes.
Style wise, they're like 1920s. If you want, if you guys are like good at that kind of thing, they were like 1920s
Okay.
type.
Is there anything else you have to say before we?
There's like a background information about. There's like we came up with. I wrote a lot of the laws for this in my head. You wrote a few of them. I think I wrote most of them.
You came up with a bunch of ideas. You wrote the beginning stuff. Can I? Yeah, let me know when you want me to start reading, and I'll start reading.
Okay, you can start reading. I think I've covered everything. Anything background wise.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. There's certain people. Did we tell them their jobs beforehand, or should we just start going?
No, we write it in the thing.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Or I'll explain. Okay. So we kind of started out with like each couple or family's life now that everything's changed. So.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia and Raphael sat up in bed one spring morning. Getting up and lying down was one of the few things that still felt normal. No one expected a future that modeled a fictional story to be their reality. It went against everything that they believed in. They weren't given a choice. Olivia and Raphael tried to keep their lives as normal as possible, but women weren't allowed to work anymore. And Raphael had been reassigned a job at a publishing company because he couldn't be a lawyer anymore if he didn't want to uphold or defend the new laws. What the two did know was they were going to fight this, but that took hard work to build a resistance. Their only trustworthy friends were their real friends. Olivia rubbed her eyes and hoped this was just a nightmare, but it wasn't. It was another day of the same routine, getting dressed and making breakfast and lunch for her husband and son, and then walking with Amanda to take the kids to school. Morning, mi amor. I can't speak Spanish. Sorry, y'all. Raphael says, well, I can. I just don't have the accent. Raphael says softly, good morning. Would you like some coffee? Olivia says, yes, but no rush. And Olivia says, I know. It's just that I need to get lunches ready for you and Noah, and I don't want him late for school, and you have to go to work. Raphael gives Olivia a soft kiss on the lips, and the two get ready for their day. Olivia tried to find a dress she liked. She didn't like any of them, but she didn't have time to think about it. She chose a dark purple one, made sure everything followed the guidelines on modesty before combing her hair into a low bun. She put on her wedding ring and then walked into the kitchen to make Raphael's coffee. This is something else that at least felt normal because she liked doing this before the world changed. Then Olivia goes to check on Noah, get him ready for school. Noah used to love school, but now is a struggle to get him there because as a boy, he had to learn different things from his former female classmates. He hated it. Even more so, he had to hide a part of who he was, as did his dad, because their sexuality was a crime. We mentioned this in like a Barson episode, but we had canon Raphael is bisexual.
Yeah.
So we're going
with that. Canon bisexual.
And Noah is canon bisexual. In this world,
that's
LGBTQIA plus is a crime, so they have to hide it.
Yeah. Any detail? Oh, we'll talk about Raphael's job in a minute. But
their outfits, the guys' outfits, are basically like button-down shirts, pants, and they still get to wear suspenders. So
yeah, it's more of like a usual thing. Like most men wear suspenders in this.
A lot of the things that the adults say, it's like, I know it's difficult. We have to follow the rules. Then Noah and Raphael have a conversation. Noah asks Raphael, have you been able to publish any kids' books lately? Raphael says, I'm working on it. Getting books approved has been the hard part, but I can maybe bring you some of the books that were scrapped. Noah says, please, but I don't want you to get in trouble. I know you're only supposed to publish the official books for adults. So
we need to explain that for a second. Yeah. I think what Raphael does is that when he publishes books, and sometimes kids' books, but the ones that are approved, that's the government.
Like, basically, it's ones that are, like, telling the kids the rules, or, like, adults the rules. So basically, everything is monitored.
Yeah, and if it's not good, you have to throw it away.
Oh, yeah.
And he also does the newspaper a little bit, which I think what I meant by that was he also partially writes the newspaper, and he partially makes sure the manifesto.
I mean, I pictured him reading a newspaper and drinking coffee while they were writing it, so
yeah. So he also does the manifesto. He publishes the manifesto for.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They eat breakfast. Olivia says, "Remember, Rafa, one day at a time." He says, "One day at a time, Liv." Um, then they say, "We're going to meet your Aunt Amanda, Uncle Sonny, and your cousins downstairs." Then we transition to Releasy, and oh god, let's see how much of this I not could. I
This
can
is where
get
we
through.
get ourselves in trouble.
Oh yeah. Um,
We'll explain it in a second about what.
Meanwhile, at the Creasy household, Amanda once
Also,
again.
women had to take their husbands' last names.
Oh yeah.
It was required.
Yep.
That's
Meanwhile, at the Creasy household, Amanda once again had a sleepless night. Ever since the world changed, her life turned upside down. She lost her job. Ouch. Her girls had to learn to see a new side of their father out in public. And the worst part was because of this new society, her rapist is now walking the streets without care because he was only trying to take care of a disrespectful woman. God, please don't let these things be true, because I just put that out in the universe. Yeah. Then, God, we wrote this weeks before she got released. We wrote this
several. We wrote this a good
month before she. We found out she was leaving.
We kind of threw this around. We were just like, "Yep, everyone has their person that they hate."
Okay. Amanda constantly has had a loop of Patton telling her to be a good girl playing in her head. The only good thing that came from this is that she got to marry the love of her life. Gonna say that one more time. The only good thing that came from this is that she got to marry the love of her life.
Yeah.
She
carefully explained that, but we haven't written it yet. But like,
you'll find out when we get.
You'll find out. They basically get married before the world shuts down because they're like, "Well, if we can't get married," they're like, "Let's get married to make sure we are together."
She carefully sat up in bed and soon felt a gentle kiss on her cheek. "Good morning. Were you able to get any sleep?" Sonny says softly. "A little." Sorry, do you need anything from me?" "I wish you could stay, but you have to go to work. I'll be okay." Yeah. Sonny says, "I love you, Amanda. You are a fighter, and I don't care what the law says. You are still and always will be a survivor." Oh god, everything hits differently now.
It does hit different now. Oh boy.
Too many damn things we know now. It's like, oh goodness. Yeah. Amanda looks at Sonny with tears in her eyes. "I'm blessed to have you, Donna Teresi." The couple kisses before getting ready. Amanda decided she was going to wear yellow, try and cheer herself up a bit. I don't know if it's a headcanon or like a canon thing or a Kelly thing, but everybody says that Amanda's favorite color is yellow, so we go with it. She put her hair in a bun and walked out into the kitchen. Sonny says, she says, "I'm gonna get the girls ready and then I'll make breakfast." And then Sonny's like, "I can make breakfast." And Amanda wanted to say yes, but she couldn't. She says, "Sonny, if this is going to be a reality from now on, I have to learn to actually cook. I'm just sorry, it won't be as good as yours." I love, this is the thing you came up with, and I love. It's Amanda, "I will give you as much help as I can so you can learn, but remember, the most important ingredient is love." This is, I don't know, I pictured this. I feel like I got it maybe from it. I was thinking of like The Help, that book and movie, when I was writing it. It made me think of it. The girl, wait, no, not yet. So, in our story, he said that Jessie has a computer class. Yeah. She can't do it anymore because of the new rules. Amanda tries her best to cheer up her girls. They're wondering why they have to wear dresses to school where they used to be able to wear shorts and pants. She says, "If you get a dress to school, you and Billy can play dress up when you come home." Alright, this is the moment that I thought of, like, The Help when they were doing it. I think there's a scene very similar to it, and they kind of took one of the lines from it, but changed it a bit. So the two girls get dressed, and then Amanda then sat both of her girls down to brush their hair. This was one moment of Amanda's day where she made sure to tell her girls just how wonderful they were. "You two are the best daughters anyone can have. You are kind, smart, and strong. I love you both so much." Both girls tell their mother they love her very much. And Amanda says, okay, girls, go say good morning to your dad. I know how much he loves when you give him your special hugs. The girls say good morning. Billy says, do you ask her dad, do you get to count money today? Because Sonny, like Raphael, didn't want to have to be in a world like this, so he got assigned for a job at the bank. I
Did you
didn't
come up
really
with
have.
that? You couldn't think of anything for a long time, but that suddenly hit
I
us.
came up with it, and I think the only reason I can think of it is because I don't know, literally it just seemed like the closest thing I could think of to lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's like organized and everything, so like kind of went with it like that. I didn't really have any other good reason for it. The girls ask him if they can play with him after school. He says they'll try. They have breakfast. They're somewhat normal. Sonny says bye to the girls, and then we try to give like every like couple like a small like. This is how I know this is
their household
but
is. This is how their household runs.
At home is at home. What happens out? Amanda says, "What happens out there stays out there. I love you so much." The couple kisses, and the family four starts to head to the Barba house. Amanda made sure to hold on to each girl's hand tightly and followed quietly behind Sonny. They knew following rules kept them safe and together. As they walked together, Amanda could hear a couple getting into an argument. She turned to look and saw the husband grab his wife's arm. It took everything in her not to react. Sonny and Amanda have a small conversation as, I know you want to help, and I wish you could. And Amanda's like, I know there's so many women getting hurt because we can't do anything about it. And this is the big thing.
Yeah.
In the new society, crimes at SVU...
At this time, we didn't name the country yet. Yeah. This is why there's no name for it.
In the new society, crimes that SVU would usually handle were no longer crimes unless, God forbid, they applied to children. Occasionally, it could be crime, if against a man, but the new laws made women powerless and subject to just about any kind of assault from a man with no consequence faced. It hurt Amanda every single day. The guys are literally like sharing a tired but knowing look, because in this new society, like, they hate this.
Like, yeah, they can't just be like, this is not a thing.
Whenever we like think of like,
you can't just be like PDA with your wife and being like really sweet to her in public and like showing you love her.
They also like they're like, when we think of like the good guy, like an actual genuine guy, it's Raphael and Sonny.
Yeah,
they can't act like that in society. So they're literally just talking about their jobs. Sonny is like, I work at the bank and I hear wealthy men gossip. And Raphael is like, keep track of that. It could help us out. The kids talk. Noah misses having fun with his cousins. You know, Billy still being 3. It's like talking about kid stuff.
Yeah. Like boys and girls, like they don't really play together. Well, they're too busy teaching them to do things, not do things. You'll find out in a minute. But they're
Jesse's like, I miss seeing you guys, and Olivia's like, I miss seeing you too, honey, but remember, we'll always be with you in here. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, Olivia's like, I'll always be with you in here. What's Jesse's heart? Then the guys talk, and then this is where we start getting canceled again. You ready for the hard part? Sonny says, I never am, but we got to. The two men nodded at each other before clearing their throats and speaking again. So Raphael calls out Olivia's name. Sonny says Amanda's name. The two women turn around and all 4 adults share a knowing look before the men speak again. Raphael says, "You know how to conduct yourselves and behave. Disrespectful behavior has consequences." Inside, he's thinking, and I hate every single word coming out of my mouth. Sunny says, "No, get the kids to school and go right home." So basically, in this society, they have to be like firm with their lives. They hate it, but it's what
Because
they
people
have to do.
expect you to discipline. It's like men expect you to discipline your wife. She's out of line.
Nobody like the men.
It's not that.
No men.
If you
are,
didn't do
like,
it, they would think you were the weird one.
good to their wife or nice to their wife. Unless they're like unless they're submissive, when it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
All right. Then the kids are walking to school. Jesse's like, "What do you guys do at school?" Amanda says, "Well, sometimes we shop, and sometimes we just go on walks. We sometimes gather with other wives, and we learn things like sewing and stuff." And Jesse's like, "Oh, that's cool." Amanda then like gets down on Jesse's level and says, "Your Auntie Liv and I are still getting used to it, but we try to find the positive in what we do. I want you to hold on to that, honey." And Jesse's like, "Okay, I can do that." And then Noah's like, "Mom, I have a question. Why is that all that you and Aunt Amanda can do?" And then Olivia's like, "I ask myself that every day." And she said, "Well, sweet boy, it's helping us be able to be the best mothers and wives we can be. Remember how I sewed Eddie's arm back on after he got hurt?" And Noah said, "Yeah, you did a great job, and he's all better, isn't but all that isn't what makes you a good mom. It's because you love me." Olivia's like, "Yes, is there anything else you want to ask?" And she says, Noah starts to say, "Why can't you and Aunt Amanda have jobs?" And then Olivia cuts him off because that is not a thing they can say in public.
You can't slander the country in public. That gets you in trouble. Yeah, that's bad.
And they drop the kids off at school, and they're like, Amanda's like, "I hate this." Olivia's like, "You gave her good advice." And Jesse's like, Noah always still sees you as he's always seen you live. Then they're like, "What are we gonna do today?" Then we get to the next couple. Oh boy.
Yeah, we love some talk.
Yeah.
Theirs isn't the most interesting. Well, not the most. They have a fairly interesting thing that they do. But well, not they do. Malachi does because Jack.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Malachi part. Over across town, Jet and Malachi were trying to get ready for their day. In the new society, the young couple had to get married sooner than either of them planned to because it was illegal to live together without being married. Canonically, we know both of them have their own house.
But they can't currently in this society. They can't live by themselves.
So currently, they live in Malachi. Like, Jet has an apartment. Malachi has like an actual like. His place is bigger.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. We figured
it looks pretty cool, so we figured they're living there.
There's a reason why, but we can't put that in there. Yeah, we might have to cut that out. But
the two were in love, so it was okay. But the other expectations nearly crushed them. Jet could no longer work at organized crime, and any technology use she had to be monitored by Malachi. She was grateful she could still use it, but it wasn't the same. Malachi now worked as a computer technician. It was great until he found out that he was the one who had to install the monitoring devices to any technology purchased by a woman. He tried to say no, but no one else could do the job, and if he said no, him and Jet would be out on the streets. He tried to find new loopholes for the rules when he could, and when he was home, he could use his technology at how he pleased. This is a line that we might have to take out, so I'm not going to read it. Jet now was trying to deal with the fact that her wardrobe was very limited to what she liked. "Adam, do we really have to get rid of all my black dresses?" she called out, and Adam's like, "Yeah, black is reserved for funerals." And then I love writing Jet snark, because she's like, "It feels like we're at one."
Yeah.
because that is exactly how she
It's-
reacts.
She would say that too, and it's just so good.
And then Adam's like, I know it does, but I promise you're going to look beautiful whatever dress you pick. Side note, first time Malachi ever calls Jet beautiful, I'm never going to shut up about it. We need to hear it, because
Please,
we need their date. Because that, okay.
please. They need
This is the thing that you'll find out.
hinting at their cat.
We hinting at a cat, so we gave them a cat. After looking at her options, she decided on a blue one and a little meow from Ada, their cat. Told her she agreed. Carefully pulled her hair back into a ponytail. It was my decision that the older women were buns and that the younger woman, also like younger woman, like not married, ponytails. She carefully tried to put something together because I don't know, I could be very wrong, but I don't think Jet knows how to cook because literally all day we've seen them eat is takeout.
And now they have to eat.
Yeah.
There's restaurants, but like
Malachi,
you just don't go to restaurants.
Malachi's doing his work, and Jet's like,
he's able to work from home for the most part, unless he's gonna do something.
And Jet's like, another alert about a suspicious internet search at home, and Jet's like, ugh, wait, please tell me it's not me, because obviously if this is real, does anybody really think that this would stop Jet from trying to hack and whatever? Which is why I wrote the line, Jet, they wouldn't be able to tell it was you if their lives depended on it. But they need me to find out who it was. And Jet's like, I'm sorry, you worked so hard to use your skills for good, and now they're making you do this. It's not right. It's not, but it pays the bills. Okay, well, it's actually kind of good that we got paused there because we have an explanation for the next part.
You gotta explain.
This is your idea.
This is where my dream actually based this on. Okay, so what happens is the government is allowed to do home checks. It's once a month at the beginning of the story anyway. It gets more frequent later on because they don't trust anybody. Really? They don't trust anybody anymore. But so the police can come to your house and make sure you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. If you are, you're going to jail.
Yep. Okay.
So
now let's keep reading. Okay. The two look at each other sadly for a moment before they hear a knock on the door. They both freeze. Shit, not today, Jet says. Then Malachi says, just make sure you're ready, I'll get the door. Jet makes sure her clothing is honest and in place, and that Ada was still as Malachi opens the door. The guy comes in, and it's like, just because Malachi worked for the government didn't mean he was exempt from random home checks. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It's random, so nobody knows when they're coming.
It's once a month, but it's random. You don't know they're coming to your house.
You literally have to be ready.
It's all like that on purpose to make sure you're not,
Yeah. It meant he had to unwillingly keep Jet in line the whole time and pray that the two passed. So, the government dude is like, Malachi's like, do you want coffee? The government dude's like, yes. And he said, I need to see your ID cards, work certification, and marriage license. So, ID cards, basically, who they are. Work certification, where Malachi works. Marriage license, that they're married. Jet literally is like, here's your coffee. Just trying to do bare minimum, basically.
You want to keep the blue wall happy with you. They come here.
This is the thing we'll have to might have to change. But, so they still need a copy of their marriage license. They don't have it yet. The government dude is like, this is your final warning. You must have proof of your marriage by your next check, or she's going to be arrested and assigned to be married. And Malachi's like, wait, seriously? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, Olivia's like, always be with you in here, and voice Jesse's heart. Then the guys talk, and then this is where we start getting canceled again. You ready for the hard part? Sonny says, I never am, but we got to. The two men nodded at each other before clearing their throats and speaking again. So Raphael calls out Olivia's name. Sunny says Amanda's name. The two women turn around and all four adults share a knowing look before the men speak again. Raphael says, "You know how to conduct yourselves and behave. Disrespectful behavior has consequences." Inside, he's thinking, and I hate every single word coming out of my mouth. Sunny says, "Now get the kids to school and go right home." So basically, in this society, they have to be like firm with their lives. They hate it, but it's what
Because
they
people
have to do.
expect you to discipline. It's like men expect you to discipline your wife if she's out of line.
Nobody like the men.
It's not
like,
that.
No men.
You didn't do it. They would think you were the weird.
Good to their wife or nice to their wife. Unless they're like unless they're submissive, when it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
All right. Then the kids are walking to school. Jesse's like, "What do you guys do at school?" Amanda says, "Well, sometimes we shop, and sometimes we just go on walks. We sometimes gather with other wives, and we learn things like sewing and stuff." And Jesse's like, "Oh, that's cool." Amanda then gets down on Jesse's level and says, "Your Auntie Liv and I are still getting used to it, but we try to find the positive in what we do. I want you to hold on to that, honey." And Jesse's like, "Okay, I can do that." And then Noah's like, "Mom, I have a question. Why is that all that you and Aunt Amanda can do?" And Olivia's like, "I ask myself that every day." And she said, "Well, sweet boy, it's helping us be able to be the best mothers and wives we can be. Remember how I sewed Eddie's arm back on after he got hurt?" Noah said, "Yeah, you did a great job and he's all better, but isn't all that isn't what makes you a good mom. It's because you love me." Olivia's like, "Yes, is there anything else you want to ask?" And she says, Noah starts to say, "Why can't you and Aunt Amanda have jobs?" And then Olivia cuts him off because that is not a thing they can say in public.
You can't slander the country in public. That gets you in trouble. Yeah, that's bad.
And they drop the kids off at school, and they're like, Amanda's like, "I hate this." Olivia's like, "You gave her good advice." And Jesse's like, Noah always still sees you as he's always seen you live." Then they're like, "What are we gonna do today?" Then we get to the next couple. Oh boy.
Yeah, we love some talk.
Yeah.
Theirs isn't the most interesting. Well, not the most. They have a fairly interesting thing that they do. But well, not they do. Malachi does because Jet.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Jalikai part. Over across town, Jet and Malachi were trying to get ready for their day. In the new society, the young couple had to get married sooner than either of them planned to because it was illegal to live together without being married. Canonically, we know both of them have their own house.
But they can't currently in this society. They can't live by themselves.
So currently, they live in Malachi. Like, Jet has an apartment. Malachi has like an actual his place is bigger.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool place. We figured
it looks pretty cool. So we figured they're living there.
There's a reason why, but we can't put that in there. Yeah, we might have to cut that out. But anyway.
Two were in love, so it was okay, but the other expectations nearly crushed them. Jet could no longer work at organized crime, and any technology use she had to be monitored by Malachi. She was grateful she could still use it, but it wasn't the same. Malachi now worked as a computer technician. It was great until he found out that he was the one who had to install the monitoring devices to any technology purchased by a woman. He tried to say no, but no one else could do the job, and if he said no, him and Jet would be out on the streets. He tried to find new loopholes for the rules when he could, and when he was home, he could use his technology at how he pleased. This is a line that we might have to take out, so I'm not going to read it. Jet now was trying to deal with the fact that her wardrobe was very limited to what she liked. "Adam, we really have to get rid of all my black dresses," she called out. And Adam's like, yeah, black is reserved for funerals. And then I love writing Jet snark because she's like, it feels like we're at one.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly how she reacts.
She would say that too. It's just so good.
And then Adam's like, I know it does, and I promise you're going to look beautiful whatever dress you pick. Side note, first time Malachi ever calls Jet beautiful, I'm never going to shut up about it. We need to hear it, because we need their date. Because that, okay.
Please,
this is the thing that you'll find out.
Hinting at their cat.
We're hinting at a cat, so we gave them a cat. After looking at her options, she decided on a blue one and a little meow from Ada, their cat. Told her she agreed. Carefully pulled her hair back into a ponytail. It was my decision that the older woman wore buns and that the younger woman younger woman not married.
Yeah.
Ponytails.
Yeah.
She carefully tried to put something together because I don't know, I could be very wrong, but I don't think Jet knows how to cook because literally all day we've seen them eat is takeout.
Yeah, they eat. Now they have to eat.
Yeah.
There's restaurants, but
yeah.
Malachi's
doing his work, and Jet's like,
he's able to work from home for the most part, unless he's to go do something.
And Jet's like, another alert about a suspicious internet search at home, and Jet's like, wait, please tell me it's not me, because obviously if this is real, does anybody really think that this would stop Jet from trying to hack in whatever? Which is why I wrote the line, Jet, they wouldn't be able to tell it was you if their lives depended on it. But they need me to find out who it was. And Jet's like, I'm sorry, you worked so hard to use your skills for good, and now they're making you do this. It's not right. It's not, but it pays the bills. Okay, well, it's actually kind of good that we got paused there because we have an explanation for the next part.
You gotta explain.
This is your idea.
This is where my dream actually based this on. Okay, so what happens is the government is allowed to do home checks. It's once a month at the beginning of the story anyway. It gets more frequent later on because they don't trust anybody. Really? They don't trust anybody anymore. But yeah, so the police can come to your house and make sure you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. If you are, you're going to trouble.
Yep. Okay.
So
now let's keep reading. Okay. The two look at each other sadly for a moment before they hear a knock on the door. They both freeze. Shit, not today, Jet says. Then Malachi says, just make sure you're ready. I'll get the door. Jet makes sure her clothing is honest and in place, and that Ada was still as Malachi opens the door. The guy comes in, and it's like, just because Malachi worked for the government didn't mean he was exempt from random home checks. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It's random, so nobody knows when they're coming.
It's once a month, but it's random. You don't know they're coming to your house.
You literally have to be ready.
They did it. It's all like that on purpose to make sure you're not,
Yeah, it meant he had to unwillingly keep Jet in line the whole time and pray that the two passed. So, the government dude is like, Malachi's like, do you want coffee? The government dude's like, yes. And he said, I need to see your ID cards, work certification, and marriage license. So, ID cards, basically, who they are. Work certification, where Malachi works. Marriage license, that they're married. Jet literally is like, here's your coffee. Just trying to do bare minimum, basically.
You want to keep the blue wall happy with you. They come here.
This is the thing we'll have to change. Might have to change, but so they still need a copy of their marriage license. They don't have it yet. And the government dude is like, this is your final warning. You must have proof of your marriage by your next check, or she's going to be arrested and assigned to be married. And Malachi's like, wait, seriously? Okay, are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. So this is a thing that comes from Truth, but we kept it in because, yeah. Jet unintentionally started to squeeze Malachi's arm. She didn't want that to happen. She loved him so much, but what she heard next made her want to cry. I suggest you let go of him. We might have to change this to Miss because they're not actually married yet.
Well, they are told. Well, they can't really call her anything else because.
Okay, I suggest you let go of him, Mrs. Mitchcock. The young couple looks to see John Buchanan stepping into their house. He says, "You look shocked to see me. Law isn't the only thing I do." And the government dude is like, "Mr. Buchanan will be doing your house checks from now on."
Yeah, surprise! Someone is.
Surprise!
That was what we talked. We talked about that in the podcast episode about.
Truth that basically we
yeah.
really think that Buchanan and Jet would butt heads and be.
Yeah, he's an enormous douchebag to Jet, and so.
Jet was trying to keep her composure respectful because she held on to Malachi to keep calm, and Buchanan's like, "I suggest you tell your wife to let go of you and act right, or else." Malachi's like, "I hate this. I can't believe this. Jet, forgive me." And he's like, "Mrs. Mintock, let go of me. You know what you're supposed to be doing right now."
Oh yeah, you do have to call if you're in with other people, you're supposed to still. You don't call your wife by her first name.
No, last name. Jet lets go of Malachi and blinks back her tears who were heading into the kitchen. Buchanan then looks around in the cabin shelf. Nothing was out of place. We're considered contraband, so they were okay. So Buchanan moved on to the living room, and Jet and Malachi were whispering to each other. "Of all people, why him?" And he said, "Because he likes to make us miserable. Well, we should pass and he'll be out of here." Buchanan hands him a slip of paper that says they pass. The form says you need to have proof of your marriage at my next check. Sign it. They sign it. Buchanan's like, "I'll see you next time." Everybody. So then he leaves, and Jet's like petting the cat because she needs to calm herself down. She's like, "You have no idea how much you're worried about the next check." The big thing with Malachi right now is basically they're young and
they're like 24. They're roughly Jet's age, and I mean Nancy's age.
Like this would be for us. It's like if they want to get married, it would be on their time, but because things changed, they can't now. They had to get married in the next month or so because Buchanan wants to find a reason to get them in trouble. This is the thing you came up with because it's from The Handmaid's Tale, you said?
Yeah, I believe. There's a scene where this happens.
If Jet doesn't get married to him, then Malachi would get in trouble, and then she would be arrested and forced into a marriage ceremony with some man that she doesn't know. The government made them all go watch the big ceremony, and I was so sick and disgusted by those girls our age, some even younger, having to get married to a man they didn't know. And then, proposal. Yeah. Why not? So he said Jet's.
Right now.
Oh my god, let's see if I remember how to say Jet's name.
It's no one knows. She would.
Literally, Ainsley did not. I think Ainsley was like the only one who being able to know how to say it.
Yeah.
So Jet Sleutmakers.
Yeah, I've been saying Sleutmakers also, but
Sleutmakers. I hope so. The love of my life. Will you marry me? Jet's like, yes, I will. Yay, happiness. Malachi's got to go to work.
10 minutes to the story, but
And then Jet's little check-in with Malachi. "Adam, remember, you're not the man they're having you act like. You can steal your skills for good the next time our family meets up." Then we go to Ayana and Denise. We basically were like, yeah, we're going to forget Cannon for 5 minutes. And they're still married and together and happy.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Because, as we mentioned earlier, in the ceremony, in this new society, because they're LGBTQIA+, their marriage wasn't recognized. They took turns on who kept Jack, and they couldn't live together. They basically, checking in with each other. And they're like, "How you been? I miss being a family." And Jack is like, he misses both of them, and he's like, "Mama, Mommy." He's like, we kind of aged Jack a bit, because we don't know what.
Yeah, he's over 1, honestly. For certain.
So we said he was over 1, maybe 2.
He's not quite 2 for sure, but he's
almost, but enough that he can talk. basically, since they aren't technically married to each other, we're viewed as single, and we can't stay that way for long. Ayana says, I know, the last thing I heard, single women who refused to get married were made servants for the rich people and
We
politicians.
should have a title for them at the time. Now they have a title.
Children without parents were put into government foster care. And Denise says, what is this? The Civil War era? I like that you wrote this. Some people must
I
serve.
live in the South, so somebody would actually say some crap like this, so that's where I got it from.
I literally was trying to like think of something like I could say, but that she would say, but like because I am white and she is black, I was like trying to think of something that was like got the point I was trying to get across, that they're both black women and that would be made servants without saying something that it couldn't. So
yeah, it's
think,
not that. Well, in this society, it's not that either. It's. I'm not describing. When we get to the point, you'll understand.
I mean, I think I did okay. So anyway,
yeah, you did.
Cool, that's good. Niana says some people miss their old glory days or whatever back when rights were only for rich straight white men. The only reason they haven't been caught yet is because they have been pretending to be walking partners.
Women can't go anywhere by themselves without a man. It's either so you have to have somebody with you. Either it's another woman or it's a man.
And that they've gotten away with home checks because they don't have to do them if the man in the house isn't present. They don't want accusations of inappropriate behavior for the cops because apparently sexual assault is only illegal if it's not your wife. Well, we have to change that.
We don't have to change that because it's a secret. But
Sure.
in the bad in that part, it's a secret. So
and this is I think I came up with this.
Yeah, because we were like, what do we do with them?
We were literally like, we don't know what to do with this couple and this couple, and I was like, let's do it together. So, I've been thinking about it, and Finn has extended the offer for us to live with him and Phoebe. Because he's leaked security for a government official, they got money, and it will look like we would just work for him. Phoebe has even offered to give us our own space as a family.
We didn't have it titled yet, but at the time,
and
later on the title.
Jack was like really happy, but he, because he's young and a kid, he only says their names, and they're like, how do we get him to not say their name? And it says their house checks are less frequent, or if ever. Finn and Phoebe have no idea how they swung that. They thought because they were an interracial couple, they would have the worst luck. But then they realized because Finn used to be a police sergeant, be a police sergeant, so he got the security job. And a high-end security job at that. So they're like, cool, but if we take this risk, it's a problem because woman's servitude is a punishment. They would have to be arrested or sentenced. They would have to make sure if Jack is taken from us, that he be given to Finn and Phoebe and is safe with them until they're assigned to them. It's a high risk, but with Finn's position, he can basically get nearly almost whatever he wants. They're like, yes, let's do it. We want to be a family. We want to be with my wife again. They said Phoebe is shopping today, so they're going to have to be extremely polite to her in public, but she knows about the deal, so they're going to go find her and just do it. And they're like, luckily we like her, so the polite thing shouldn't be too hard. Yes, we know that Ayana and Finn and everybody have not met canonically. I'm hoping we get an Ayana.
They do. They should.
We need an Ayana and Finn scene.
And the crossover, they better have it.
We better. Like,
it makes
come on. Like, Danielle and Ice have very, off screen, have very similar personalities. And I feel like their characters would mesh well together.
Yeah. Which
is a big reason why we did this.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, now we're at Phoebe. So, meanwhile, Finn and Phoebe, who are now married, despite not wanting to bend to the wills of the government, were trying to figure out things for their plan to work. Since Phoebe no longer a cop advice because it wasn't necessary.
There's so many typos. It was just ideas.
We literally just kept typing. since Phoebe was no longer a cop advice because it wasn't necessary anymore, she had a lot of time on her hand. She knew Finn's job took control on him, and she knew he hated having to be so strict with her in public because it wasn't who he was. Finn is chill. He ain't rude to like anybody unless you deserve rudeness, so the fact that he has to be firm with Phoebe sucks.
Yeah, we didn't do very
Alright, let's see where I left off.
We were talking about
What bothered them the most was Olivia and Raphael's bedroom was the only place that still felt normal. Having Elliot in there just felt wrong. Then they heard Elliot go into Noah's bedroom, and Olivia swore she saw her son hold his breath. This shouldn't be his life. When Elliot was done, he came back, sat down on the sofa, filled out his report, and Olivia took a few steady breaths before bringing over a cup of coffee for Elliot. He says, "Thank you." And Olivia knows exactly what she was supposed to say to him, so she did. But every word felt like sulfur in her mouth. And every word I wrote hurt. So, thank you for your service, Captain. It's an honor to have you in our home, she said. And then this is where things decide to not go professional. Elliot takes a sip of his coffee before looking at Olivia. "I see this new system has taught you a few things, Liv." Olivia mumbles, "Oh, so now I don't have to go by a last name." Except Elliot hears her.
Yeah.
She says, "Excuse me." And Olivia looks at Raphael and "I'm sorry." And Raphael knew he couldn't stop her now, and a part of him didn't want to. But he knew this was going to get messy, so he told Noah to go to his room, do your homework, close the door, work hard. Noah goes to his room and closes the door, and Olivia looks back at Elliot. "You walked into my house with your high and mighty title, disrupted my evening with the only thing I had, disrupted my evening with the only normal thing I have left. You scared my son. Then you want to insult me and then make this casual. No, not anymore. Get out." And Olivia's like, "You should be grateful it's me doing this, Olivia. It could be much worse. But maybe I've been too easy on both of you. Now if you two want to pass your check, your husband knows what he has to do." And unfortunately, Raphael did. And we hope he doesn't have to do this in our home. But once his beautiful, fierce wife stood up for all of them, things changed. And this is where Raphael has to be for time to go along with things. And he says, "I'm sorry, Captain. My wife needs to remember her place for disrespecting you. What would you like for her consequence to be?" And Elliot was like, "Oh, Barbara, next time, don't be a coward. Choose yourself. I want her spanked." So this is a similar thing to like the dream part of truth that we've done. Yeah. And he said, "Raphael never wanted to do this. It was a line he never wanted to cross, but if there was the horrible reality that the law was a man could request a punishment for a disrespectful woman he came across." Olivia felt her heart shatter. If she had just kept her mouth shut, Raphael wouldn't have to do this, and she knew after his childhood and seeing his mother get hurt like this, he would never want to do it to her. She didn't even care about her pain anymore. She wanted to save Raphael from succumbing to society's demons. Elliot, of course, not wanting to shut up. "What are you waiting for, Barbara? I could arrest both of you for disrespecting me and breaking the law." Raphael's like, "That won't be necessary. Give me 1 minute." Okay, we're back.
Okay, cool.
Alright, let's see where I leave off. Oh yeah, Raphael walks over to Olivia, pulls her aside. Olivia says, "I'm so sorry, just keep your promise." Raphael says, "I will, it's going to be okay. I'll do it in our room. I have to satisfy his petty ego. Are you okay with this?" And Olivia's like, "Don't do it on our bed, because the bed is like their safe place. It's all they got." I don't want it to be a reminder of this. Are you okay with leaning over that chair in our room where you were going to get rid of it anyway? And Olivia said, yes, I love you. Now turn around because he's coming over. Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay. Raphael turns around and Elliot's crossing his arms. Time's up. You do it, or I will, and I'll arrest you both. Raphael's like, no, you won't need to do anything. Olivia says, you won't need to do anything, sir. I know my actions have consequences. I forgot we wrote this. It says, I'll do it. She'll remember her place when I'm done. Raphael says that he takes Olivia's arm and starts to walk her to the bedroom. Elliot says, keep the door open. I don't want you thinking you can trick me. And Raphael's thinking, no, you just want to see us both crush ourselves.
So here.
Okay. You went away for a minute twice.
Oh.
Alright.
Good.
I'll just summarize it in case the mic didn't pick it up. Raphael unfortunately has to say, she'll remember her place when I'm done. Elliot says, to keep the door open. I don't want you thinking you can trick me. Raphael thinks, no, you just want to see us both crush ourselves. And, Olivia slowly leans across the chair in the bedroom. Raphael has to say, you need to know there's consequences for your behavior, Mrs. Barba. You know better than to embarrass me in this household. Raphael looks up to the sky and says a silent prayer before slowly moving up Olivia's dress. He leaned down and whispered in her ear, so only she could hear, I love you so much, me more. Olivia braced herself as she felt Raphael's hand make contact with her skin. She bit her lip to prevent herself from crying out because she didn't know if Noah had his headphones on, and this was the last thing she wanted to hear. Raphael says, I know it hurts, but this is the consequence for your behavior. Olivia knew Hudson didn't want to hurt her, but he was saving her from Elliot and prison for both of them. To her, that was true sacrifice because she's the only one who should be facing this because she couldn't shut up. She let out a muffled cry when he hit her again. By the time he reached 5, Raphael was choking back his tears. He couldn't cry until Elliot was gone. When he looked down, he saw his wife's red skin. He just felt broken. He became who he promised himself he never would. Elliot's like, great. Good, now sit her up. Let's finish this. Olivia sits up and winces. Raphael has to have Olivia apologize, and Olivia's like, I'm so sorry, Captain Stabler, for how I acted tonight. I promise it will never happen again. I know what's expected of me, and you won't have to remind me again. Please let me walk you out to make up for it. Olivia knew she could barely walk at this point, but she would do anything to get Elliot out of the house. Elliot says, thank you. I see you can be polite and respectful like a good wife should be. Now I need you to sign this report before I go. Sorry, more tweets about Kelly are coming up.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
It's I think it was just saying something about like everybody who got to write for her was lucky, etc. Okay. Okay, where'd I go? Oh yeah, thank you. I see you can be polite and respectful like a good wife should be. Now I need you to send his report before I go. Raphael signs her report. Olivia walks Elliot out. Raphael is angry and devastated at himself, at Elliot, at the society they were forced to live in. When he saw Elliot was gone, he locked the door and turned to Olivia. He's gone, Olivia. I'm right here. Olivia just starts crying and held her and apologizes multiple times. Olivia's like, I'm sorry. He was almost done, and then I just had to open my mouth. Sorry to do that. She starts sobbing again. Raphael says, he knew he was doing. It's not on us here. I'll help you lie down and get you some ice packs and cold towels. Raphael takes care of her and it's like, are you okay? She's like, no, we'll be fine. I just need you to close. I just need you to hold me. Raphael's like, I don't want to hurt you. And Olivia says, you're not, I promise. I just need you to close to me. They hold each other, and all of a sudden I hear Noah say, Mom, Poppy, are we okay now? And Elliot's like, Olivia's like, yes, baby, we're okay. He's gone. Noah heard Olivia crying. Olivia says, sometimes, Noah, we have to do things we don't want to keep each other safe. Noah asks if they had to do that, and Raphael's on the verge of tears and says, yes. This is when Noah starts asking questions about why the society is what it is right now. He says, why do we have to live like this? The men are all mean into women and girls. Then I'm expected to do the same. But that's not me. And it's not you, Poppy, or Uncle Sonny, or Uncle Finn. And Raphael says, we don't know why everything Olivia says, we don't know why everything had to change, Noah. But the important thing is you remember who you are until we all figure out a way to change things back. Raphael asks Noah how he feels when he sees the other men or boys in the class being mean to girls and how is it. Noah says, it makes me upset. Some of them are really mean, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to have to do that to anyone. What if I have to do it to Jesse and Billy? And Noah's this close to tears.
I have it on a Twitter browser.
Every time I hear like there's like an
like,
echo, I hear, and whenever
no,
that
because it's
buzzing,
open in a Twitter browser instead of an actual browser. So like, if the screen locks on my iPad, it just pretends.
yeah, whenever I hear like the buzzing stop, that tells me that you're not there, so I like stop talking.
Okay, I was there. I was making the light turn on.
This is where the thing, the title comes
in. The title.
And Olivia's like, Rafa, I think it's time we tell him. And Noah's like, tell me what? And Raphael's like, our family has been working on building a resistance against the government. Our group is small, and it's just a few of us right now. We learn what we can and get information to people to keep them safe. We have to be really careful because if we're caught, we're all going to get in very big trouble. Noah's like, is that why you act stricter sometimes? So I don't think you're resisting. He says, yes, we don't want people to be suspicious or report us. Noah's like, I want to help. What can I do? And Olivia's like, you did everything right tonight. You listened to us and Elliot, and you're going to answer his questions. I know it's going to be difficult sometimes, but if you stay strong and continue to learn what others expect from you, they'll think you're following the system. And Raphael says the most important thing you need to remember is to not tell anyone about this. We will let you know when it's safe to talk about it in our course. Our home is a safe place to ask any questions you have. And Noah asked this question earlier. About why, asking why Olivia and Amanda don't have jobs anymore. And Olivia says, because in the world we live right now, Noah, many men think women shouldn't have jobs. They think we should just cook, clean, sew, shop, and raise kids, and take care of our husbands. Noah says, I don't believe that. Your job helped a lot of people, Mom, and you were still able to do all the other stuff even with your job. Because I very much think, like, after Noah got over his rough patch with Olivia, he realized that his mom is a badass cop, but also a really awesome mom. And Olivia says, I know, and it's what I'm doing, but I can't help people. Noah then asks Raphael, Mom says she has to take care of you, but she did that before. What's different now? Raphael says that it's a law she has to obey. That it's a law she has to obey her husband no matter what, because men should be the head of the I just need water. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of talking.
But this is fun. We were enjoying it. We had to get it out of our minds and
Oh,
off
yeah.
paper and into the world.
What? I literally am just trying to distract myself, to be quite honest.
Yeah, for us, what we're doing.
All
We're
right.
doing it until my iPad dies, which is at 44%. So.
All right. Well, we ain't my laptop's at 87. We got time. Okay. Law has to obey her husband no matter what because men should be the head of the household and the wives have to submit. Sons are trained to be such, and daughters are taught the responsibilities of being a wife and mother. Some husbands take it to the extreme and treat their wives as less than human. Noah says, like hurting them and being really mean. Rabbi says, yes. He says, Noah says, that's horrible. Wait, does that mean Justine and Billy are learning the stuff women need to know now? They're younger than me. That's another thing. Even with their young ages, they're still learning like stuff that they probably shouldn't be learning at their age. But the government does not give a crap.
No.
It's like start them early. And Olivia says none of you should be learning this stuff at your ages. It's why your Aunt Amanda and I have made sure to help you all with your math and reading whenever we can, as well as other life lessons. And Noah says, sometimes I pass by Jesse's classroom and the boys and girls are split up. The other girls pretend to be feeding baby dolls. I know Jessie did that before, but she doesn't seem fully happy since she can't do her computer class anymore, and it makes me really sad. And Raphael says, it makes us sad too. You should all be able to do what makes you happy and what you're interested in. You're more valuable than what society says you should do. And then Noah says, I want to help Jessie and Billy. If we meet again, what can I do? Noah says, Olivia says, you can be a good cousin and have some fun like you used to. The family has a group hug, and they know that they were going to get through this together. All right. Now we're back at the Carisi household. The family of four was wrapping up dinner. Crap. Every time we get to them, we're just gonna be like sad again and hopefully happy.
We're currently writing.
We haven't got to the bad stuff yet.
No, they get a bad thing currently in a second. Do they? Or is it the next morning? I don't know.
Spend quality time. Sonny tried to do what he always did before the world changed. Spend quality time with his daughters and ask them about their day. So we asked the girls what they do at school, and Jessie said we did regular school stuff like read and write and stuff. Then we go to our girls only class and learn other things. And Jessie's like, what? And Sonny's like, what? And then they said the girls our age pretend to play with baby dolls. Our teacher says we should learn to be good mommies. And then Amanda walks over and says, what do you think of that, honey? Oh god, I'm gonna cry again. Jessie says, I mean, it's not horrible. I want to be a mommy one day, but I'm not going to be a good mom because of school. I'm going to be one because of you, Mama. Hold on.
Oh my. What were we thinking when we wrote this?
That we didn't know she was leaving when we wrote
this. For real, we didn't think that. We wrote this a couple months. I don't know when we started this. It was a while ago.
A lot of the stuff that we have now, it's be like, oh, wow, okay. Amanda says, hearing that meant a lot to Amanda. She was worried in this new society that her daughters wouldn't think she was still a good mother, but they did. I started coughing.
I was like, don't let me choking and dying. I can't do this without you.
You can't do this without me. Well, I appreciate that.
Exactly.
Hold on, where did it...
You were talking about... We were talking about school.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I clicked on the wrong tab. Hold up. Oh, crap. Hold up.
Stop. This might be a good one.
No. Nope. Just Mariska posting a picture of her Kelly smiling and laughing. And oh, God.
Okay. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
That you really can't. Well, I mean, we have a whole bunch of yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna read the tag on it. It says, "Once an SBU, always SBU. You have an amazing soul, Kelly." Somebody else's picture, but the MH my world, so I just give them credit for that. But it's also I really hope we have that it's like even though whatever the heck Amanda's doing to turn your badge, whatever, same thing to everybody. Once part of the squad, always a part of the squad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the story. Then they're asking Billy what she did at school today, and she's like 3 now. So we literally tried to think of like,
what do preschoolers do?
What would preschooler do at this situation? She said,
Do it.
"We got a little kitchen in our classroom today, and I made eggs like you and Daddy do." Because in this scenario, Amanda cooks now. Sonny used to. Billy knows they both make eggs, so we put that little thing in there. And then Sonny's like, "Did you play with just girls or girls and boys?" And Billy says, "Just girls. We pretend to be mommies and play with baby dolls too." And Jesse says, "Mom, I have a question. Why can't I be in my computer class anymore? It was so much fun." Jesse says, Amanda says, "Well, no, tech jobs are for men." She's inside, she's thinking, it's ridiculous. And then this is the part where I wrote, I was like, I'm gonna cry again. When I wrote it. She said, "Wait, that means Jack doesn't have her computer anymore either." I think I meant to say job. Yep, job. Wait, does that mean Jet doesn't have her job anymore either? But she loves computers. I was going to be like her. And Amanda and
Yeah,
Sonny.
just don't know we established that.
Yeah.
The squad children all love Jet.
Yeah. Yeah, the squad children all love Jet. We did that before we know that she does actually like kids, so. Or like empathizes with them at least. That's what I need this season. I need Jet to meet Noah at the very least.
Please. That could be best.
Maybe Jesse and Billy, but Noah at the very least. And then we can just go off of that. Okay. She does, and Amanda says she doesn't get to work, but she has computer access because of Malachi's job. And Jesse says, "Oh, that's good. She and Malachi love to do it together." And Amanda says, "Yeah, they do. I want you girls to always remember to hold on to the things and people you love. They will take you far." The girls say, "We will." The family enjoys the rest of the evening together. They tuck the girl into the bed. Amanda flops on her bed and stares at the ceiling. She says, "Why is this our lives?" And Sonny says, "Because freedoms were chipped away one by one until we ended up like this." Amanda, oh god. I told myself I would do whatever it took to give our girls a better childhood than I had, and now I feel like such a failure. Amanda, you are not a failure. The girls love you, and you are a wonderful mother and a wonderful wife. Oh, universe, I'm putting stuff into
they got married.
you.
Oh, we didn't mention that. They got married, G. Or did we say
No,
that
I think I said it.
We did. Oh, yeah. Well, Rose got married because they wanted to make
sure. Amanda said literally the one good thing about this is that she got married. Right.
I have cooking ADHD. I don't remember anything for 30 minutes.
So. All right. Amanda says, "Thank you, Sonny. Our little talks always helped me feel better." How's work? Sonny said, "It's okay. It was okay. Apparently, the manager is having a dinner this weekend with some of his rich colleagues and other officials."
Yeah, the commander didn't have a name yet. That's why this is the commander like 8 million times.
Amanda says,
he named him eventually.
Great. More people Finn has to be nice to. I have no idea how he stayed so strong. And Sonny says, because he slipped up in any way, he can be arrested for treason. He's told me that he stays strong for him and Phoebe. And Ayana and Denise are staying with him. And Amanda's like, "Wait, really?" He said it's the safest plan. Anyone found out about Ayana and Denise, they'd be arrested and likely separated. And Shaq would be in foster care. Since the punishment for sexual or immoral crimes is servitude, Phoebe has assigned them to their house and adopted Shaq so they would all stay together. Amanda's like, "Oh my god, that's incredible." Finn and Phoebe were going to have to treat them like servants, but Finn told me he didn't want to have to see a family separated, especially one so close to him. He fought for them in his own way, just like he did for his son. Amanda said, "That's good. I'm happy he was able to do that for them. I miss seeing everyone. Any idea when the next meeting will be?" So yes, basically everybody in the squad knows about the resistance.
Yeah, they are.
It's them. It's them. They are the resistance. Sunny says we're planning for Friday night. It's not 100% set yet. Amanda's like, our work will get through this. Sonny says, as long as I have you and the girls will be okay. I'm really trying to get through this without crying. It's not gonna happen.
What a time to be alive.
Okay. We're gonna have to break this into a whole bunch of parts, but I literally just need to keep reading.
Yeah.
Are you good to keep going?
Yeah, we'll go into my
Even
iPad
though we're like
we'll go into my
super
iPad.
long. Alright, cool. Cool. Alright. So back at Finn and Phoebe's place while dinner was cooling off, Phoebe was trying to figure out how to tell Ayana and Denise something. Ladies, I know I mentioned it earlier, and I hate to rush you both, but I want your permission to think of a name Jack can call me. And
We need to think
Ayana
about
says,
it.
we thought about it. Yeah, we're literally like, what else can we do? And I came up with this name because this is what my aunt's grandkids call her. And she said, we thought about it too, and maybe it could be Mimi. And Phoebe says, oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I know I will never replace you two, and I'm never going to try, but I want Jack to be comfortable around me. He's just so sweet. Denise says, thank you for making sure we were comfortable with it. He is a really sweet boy. He's just trying to figure out the changes we had to make to make sure we are safe. I like this line that I put, and it said, Jack walks over and looks at Phoebe. No more mean. You nice, he says. And Phoebe says, thank you, Jack. I promise your mommy and mama I keep you safe. You can call me Mimi. Jack says, Mimi? And then Yana says, that's right, baby. You're so smart. I don't like thinking of like Yana and Denise's parents that like overpraise their kid, but also he's their first kid and their only kid, and they're like just super. So I think it would be like that thing. And then Jack points to everybody. He says, "Mama, mommy, Mimi." Jack gives Phoebe a little hug. Phoebe picks him up, gives him a little tickle. He starts to giggle. And he says, "You are adorable. Mimi's going to have you so spoiled." Finn should be home soon, but we're gonna have to figure out what you want Jack to call him. He totally told me he wants this. Yeah. He told me this is all your call. And then Ayana says, okay, we'll figure this out together. Jack's never had a dad per se, just us. We're his parents. And that's all we thought he was ever going to have. And then Phoebe says, neither of us want to change that for you three. He won't be Jack's dad. Think of him like Jack's grandpa, his papa. That's why I came up with the Mimi thing, because I was like, we're thinking age-wise and everything, like they could be like Jack's grandparents. Mm-hmm. So Ayana says, I like that. Mimi and Papa. Are you okay with that, Denise? Yes, Jack. Denise likes it. Jack says, Mimi, Papa. And Ayana says, you're right, Jack. They're part of our family. Phoebe puts Jack down and just goes around to walk and play. And then Finn walks in the house and he locks the door. He turns around and immediately pulls the three women into a hug. I'm so glad you're all okay, he says. We're all okay. We're glad everything worked out smoothly. Finn says he got the call, saying he report, so everything's fast-tracked. Ayana is like really grateful. Finn says they're getting the information that they need and the uniforms are coming tomorrow. We can discuss it all later, but for now, let me see the little guy. And Jack walks over back to the adults and he says, look at you, Jack. You've gotten so big. So in truth, they have met canonically. They have not met. They should. Well, actually, no. Right now they can't because we don't know where Jack and Denise are. But anyway, he said he's almost 2. And Phoebe says, we're trying to figure out names for Jack to call us and decided on Mimi and Papa. And I checked just to make sure
We did.
I
We
had
made
it
sure.
right.
Yeah, we were right.
He said, I like it. You know, Jaden calls me Pop Pop, so maybe I can be that role for Jack too, if you two are okay with it. And Denise is like, yes, we're okay with whatever will keep us safe and together. And Finn picks up the kid, and I love to think that Finn has a soft spot for kids.
Yeah.
He says, so Jack, what do you say that we have the food that smells cooking on the stove? And Jack says, ham and cheese, because he can't say mac and cheese yet. And Finn says, hey, that's my favorite too.
They're very,
All right.
very cute.
And they put Jack to bed, and they all adults all have to talk now. Do you want to read this part? This is kind of a you thing more than a me thing.
Okay, so where are we? Okay. So Finn says, I hope the officers who had to arrest you weren't too rough with you. Some of them don't care how they treat women. Because they don't like, later on, a character.
I'll read Phoebe.
Another character goes undercover. We'll get back to that part. In a sense, they go undercover. I was air quoting. So they find out what happens in prison, and it's not good. But one person, anyway, she says, no one hurt us. Ayana says, no one hurt us physically, but they said.
Alright, hello, where did you leave off?
I was talking about, Finn was talking about the guests come over to his house.
Oh, the guest coming over to his house?
Yeah, okay, so like, later on we changed the word to attendants because that's a better word that we like more than servants, but.
Yeah, we didn't want to have to keep calling them servants.
Yeah, so we changed it to attendants, but we even edited that to be editing. But, most of the time, they go to other people's houses most of the time.
But a lot of this is like the big dinner, so they're having it at their house.
Yeah.
So
they serve.
They're basically telling them they have to hang up coats, drinks filled, guests happy, serve dinner, dishes on the table, bring more food if asked, wash dishes, fill drinks. Then everybody leaves, and we can help you clean up. Finn says some men can be assholes, but you can't react to them because they expect respect and order in my household. It's bullshit, but I don't want trouble for you all. And Yana says, thank you, Finn, we understand. Just don't expect us to hold our tongues after they leave. And Finn says, oh, don't worry. Usually after everyone leaves, I crack open a beer and rant. Because he would.
There's a fun scene you'll write, like, you guys will read about it.
Yeah, Phoebe is like, if anything is too difficult or upsetting for you both, tell me and I'll see what I can do. My job is to make sure Finn and everyone else is happy. I use this tradition to try to do some good when I can. But like, wait, what's Jack gonna have to do when people come over? Phoebe says, most of the time the parties are at night. Sometimes other wives come over for tea on Sundays after church. Some of them you don't know, but my sister, I don't know what her sister's name is. We just know
she has a sister.
But my sister, Olivia, Amanda, and Jet occasionally come over. They know it's a safe space, but I still have to keep the rules in place. They will know Jack is yours, but the others won't. It's up to you both how we would handle that. And they're like, I usually catch up with them privately after the other wives leave, or if they come early. Because, just putting that. They can do the same with you as well. That's good. They help us get through this. that's about it. The thing I can think to tell you about. Finn's job keeps him busy most of the day. All household members have to. Oh, this is another thing. All household members have to attend church according to the law. Yeah, there's no separation of church and state anymore. It's a law. You all have to go. Everybody has to go to church.
Yep, that's required. Well, I need to write. We're gonna write a church service. We haven't done it.
We
yet.
do. I literally have lines for it
It'll
because
be good. It won't be good, but it'll be real.
I'm just gonna say it because we haven't run it yet. And to be honest, basically, like, I'm really glad we got Jack baptized before all of the work. Before all of this.
That's stuff they teach children.
Alright. Besides that, the once a month grand wedding ceremony everybody attends, which sucks. It's when single young women who don't have a suitor chosen by their families are married to men so they can start families and have kids. And this is where we get to the big thing. Everyone we know being in a relationship saved them from being separated. Amanda and Sunny got married right before everything happened. Jet and Malachi have been okay. We have to change that.
We'll determine if that stays in.
We're just gonna literally just say Jet and Malachi have been okay. I know they had to figure out their next steps before Jet is arrested, since unmarried couples can't live together. And then they said, okay, Friday we got a meeting with the Barbas Carisis, Jet and Malachi and Velasco. Is there anything else we need to know about our jobs? Nope, no more questions. Here's the keys to your personal living space. They call it the night. All right. Back to Jet and Malachi. They're having this conversation over washing dishes. Jet is thinking about how they're engaged and it's not her choice. Well, I mean, it is, but not on our own timing. I don't want to be taken away from you. And Malachi stopped what he was doing and gave it a hug. I know, Jet, I know. But we can make it special. We can get our rings and your dress. And Jet's like, can I actually choose them, though?
I do want to write this dress.
Yes, oh my god. Literally, Jet wedding dress shopping. I hate this, but I look so pretty.
Yeah, she's in this. Well, never mind.
That would be her attitude, though.
I
hate this,
well,
but it looks pretty.
I mean, the spoiler. Well, not the spoiler. We won't tell everyone else that, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun later.
Yeah, it'll be fun later. But literally, that would be her attitude. I hate this. This is all modest, everything, but I look pretty.
Yes.
All right.
People are wild out here in the hallways.
Malachi's like, of course, Jet, and Jet's like, okay, there's no one I want to be going through this crazy world with besides you. Me too, Jet. I love you. We'll make the best of it. You still here?
Yes.
Okay. Then we get to the big thing. There's something I need to ask you about. It's about once we get married, we have to fulfill our duty of having kids. Jet's like, can we not call it that here, please? Do you know how many people have just looked at me and said, oh, she's too scary to be around a child, let alone have one? And now those same people are telling me I need to have a child. My big thing with that is, face value, the first time you would see Jet, you would probably think, that girl has good with kids, not a kid person. But, like, now we know that would be a stereotype, because from the case and everything, where the girl got kidnapped, she has a very big soft spot for kids. And then I get in this conversation of, Malachi's like, we don't have to call it that then. You should be able to make that choice for yourself and not have the government to tell you you have to. And Jet's like, Adam, do you think I'd be a good mom? She said, yeah. He says, yes, I do. You're great with Noah, Jesse, Billy, and Jack. You have such a caring and beautiful heart for the people you love. I'm just hoping my past isn't going to affect your family. Adam, you finished your parole and made amends for the things you did. You have a big heart and a kind nature, and you are a leader. Our son or daughter will be lucky to have you as a father. They kiss. They're broken out of their trance by a meow. And they look at Ada. And they're like, too bad cat children don't count. And they're like, I'm glad that we got to keep her. Ada brings a little joy to our lives. I know we have to do some things in order to get married and get everything approved, but for tonight, I just want to hold my beautiful fiance. I like that. Then they, I did this? No, this later. Okay. I was thinking of something else. It comes later.
That's later.
This is when we get very canceled.
This is where you get in trouble.
This is where we get in
Second time.
trouble.
The second time.
This would probably be like chapter 2.
Yeah, we'll split it
Maybe.
here. I'm gonna put a little marker just so I don't forget. When we
chapter 2. All right.
So when we do this in editing. When we do this in editing.
Chapter 2, probably. Chapter 1 is literally first day. Chapter 2, now we're on the second day of all of this. The next morning, Amanda and Sunny are woken by a knock on the door. No. Sunny says it's going to be okay. Just get ready. Amanda says, Dominic, you don't understand how hard it is to have him in our home. He always finds a way to get under my skin, or he tries to compliment me. Well, you're right there. It just feels so disgusting. Sunny says, I think you're beautiful and wonderful, and I'll do what I can for you to make this go as smoothly as possible. Go get the girls ready. I'll get everything else. Amanda nods, heads to the girls' room. She quickly wakes them and gets them dressed. The school had sent them both home with uniforms yesterday. Plain white blouses and long gray skirts. Both girls, that is important for later. Yeah. Both girls were
supposed to be the thought, and I'd forgotten to say it. So then that came with the second day of this all.
Yeah. Plain white blouses and long gray skirts. Both girls were confused, but they changed, but it was out of their hands. Mama, it's early. Amanda's like, I know, baby, but we have a guest. You both need to promise me that you'll listen to him and Daddy very carefully. Girls say we promise. Billy looks confused. Amanda says, you have a very important job, Billy. We need you to show our guests just how polite you are. Can you do that? Yes, Mom, I can. Amanda hugs both of her girls tightly and gets into the kitchen. Sunny looks at both of them and says, okay, girls, I need you to both go sit quietly on the couch. Both girls nod and sit on the couch. Another knock on the door tells both Amanda and Sunny it was time. Sunny squeezes Amanda's hand to open the door. He hated the door with every fiber of his couldn't show it. And this is where cancel
because the person we chose.
They literally were like, all right, let's see. Does every couple have somebody that they have a problem with?
Yep.
If so, that's who's doing their home checks.
Yep.
Good morning, Chief Patton. I hope we didn't keep you waiting too long.
Yeah. This girl man here is. We decided he needed to also be a chief because he needed to have power.
Well, I mean, he was a chief before that.
He was.
So
but, I guess that's an interesting thing because he tended. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because the whole laws changed thing. Yeah, because he was supposed to pursue law enforcement again as part of his deal.
But laws changed. He's chief again for doing that. Yeah. All right. He's like home check, IDs, work license, marriage certificate, yada yada yada. Comes in the house, and this is where the things start. Patton steps into the apartment and looks to see Jesse and Billy quietly sitting on the couch. Can you do a southern accent?
No. Okay. I'm the least southern person you would ever meet.
If we had friend. I can't do a southern accent.
She does not believe she has a southern accent. A dear friend of ours does not believe she has a southern accent.
Oh my god, yeah. She definitely does.
I was like, listen, as southern as I am,
you were able to do his accent like closer than either of us would. Alright.
Everything is
you have two beautiful girls. I see they take after their mother. I could probably read that better, but it says, you have two beautiful girls. I see they take after their mother.
That's good.
It takes everything.
We made him really creepy, but we want to make him subtly creepy.
Yeah. It takes everything in Amanda not to cry. Hearing that just brought back all her trauma, and she desperately wanted to protect her daughters from this man. It took everything in Sunny not to scream. He didn't want this man talking to his daughters, let alone like that. Sunny knew it wasn't a compliment he wanted either daughter to receive. Yep. Inspection. No coffee this time. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, because we're like, somebody needs to be
Amanda
different.
sits
They have
next
to
to her
offer them.
girls as the inspection happens. Patton comes back and he says, I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but before I sign your form, I have one request. Mrs. Creasy, come here.
Okay, trigger warning. Well, here it comes.
Trigger warning starts now.
Now, yeah, so, yeah, trigger warning.
I don't remember if it's me or you or both of us that came up with this. Yeah, idea. But trigger warning starts now.
Yeah, the whole thing's a trigger warning, honestly, but particularly this part is.
Yeah, Amanda slowly stands up and walks over to Patton. He looks her up and down and smirks. You are beautiful. Now I want you to be a good girl and do exactly what I say so your family can pass your check.
This will be a prominent theme throughout the rest of the story.
I was literally
the cops, a lot of them abuse their power to do things like this.
What does Patton call her? And I was like, yep, that's ready to go with too.
Yeah.
So Sunny knew this was going to be bad. He didn't want his daughters to see it. He sends the girls to go to their rooms to get ready for school. Girls head to the room. Patton brushed a piece of hair behind Amanda's ear, and she willed herself not to flinch. Again, trigger warning. Tell me, Mr. Creasy, did your wife ever tell you what she says I did? That I raped her? Guys, I hate having to be smirky, but like I'm trying to act, and it's bad.
Yeah,
but
it's bad. It's
I'm trying. And then Sunny says, what she told me is between us. She wouldn't lie. Sunny and Patton continues. I'm a good man, and I would never dream of hurting a woman, but sometimes they need to be told to be a good girl. Patton looks Amanda dead in the eye and speaks again. If you want to pass, you'll show me how good you can be. Amanda was starting to shake and cheer up. She was terrified. Sir, fuck, I can't. I'm thinking of the damn picture. It's hard for me to read. Sir, I'm married, she says. Patton says, if you want to pass, you'll do what I say. No, let me see you. Sunny is literally just trying to stop this at all costs.
Yeah, it's bad.
And he says, sir, the law is the only person who's allowed to see their wife undressed is her husband. And I was like trying to think of a reason of like what the rule could be for like us to be able to continue with this idea. And I said, you're forgetting the second part of the law, Mr. Carisi, that only applies to men who haven't seen the woman before. And if she's being disciplined. Because unfortunately, Patton has seen her before. So the rule doesn't count. Sunny grits his teeth as he knows he can't do anything else. He promised he would have this go smoothly for Amanda, and he failed. Amanda knew she didn't want Sunny to have to see this. It would break them both. She says, sir, please, do what you say. My husband doesn't need to be here for it. Patton says, no, he can stay. He will stay. You're his wife, after all. Amanda blinks back her tears as she knew she had no other choice. She carefully reached behind her and started to unzip her dress slightly, and it let it fall off her shoulders, revealing her bra. I'm wondering how much I can actually read of this. There's a lot of this I can't. But she didn't want to look at Patton. She knew Sunny was probably holding back his own tears, so she just kept her eyes trained far off behind Patton. You are beautiful. My God, Amanda Rollins.
I think he says that. I think he maybe said something very similar to that in that show.
I think so too, but I can't remember. He said, Sunny felt his hand clenching into a fist. This man was completely degrading Amanda, and he couldn't do anything about it, or it could mean something worse for her. His anger continued to rise when he saw Patton lick his wife up and down again, and place his hand on her shoulder and play with her bra strap. I envy your husband. He gets to see this beautiful body every day. Amanda nearly threw up right then and there. So yeah, just fish around until Patton left. This is probably the last few parts I can read because the rest get graphic.
Yeah,
He
it gets
says,
rather graphic. We'll be like, well, we can't read that part. I don't know if we're gonna get age restricted or again age restricted. I don't know. We're not gonna read it, but it's implied. You'll know. If you read the story yourself, you'll know.
hold on.
Basically, just know it's not consensual.
No,
But it's not that part. It's not. It's
I
not
want you,
consensual.
of course, not like that. Though preventative measures are illegal.
Yeah, no condoms, no birth control. Can't have that
Nope,
because you
nope,
need to be able to
nope,
procreate.
nope,
So
nope,
none of
nope,
that.
nope.
None of that stuff there.
Amanda froze in her tracks. She didn't want to do this. She wanted her husband and she wanted her rapist to leave her and her family alone. No, please. And then this is direct from canon. And we're like, we gotta put this in there. Amanda, you know I don't take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing that brought Amanda back to one of the worst moments in her life, and she was about to have to relive it all over again. Sunny, again, still trying to stop this. Sir, you don't need to do this. Certainly my wife can show you she's good. Some other way. And inside he's like, please, God, don't make her have to do this. And he says, it's what I want, unless you both want to be arrested. Sunny's like, no, we don't. And she said, Patton says, good. Now wait out here until we're done. Alright, so
Yeah,
basically
we
we're
can't
just gonna have to summarize this.
non-consensual activity that's not.
They go into the room, Patton undresses her. It's basically his word against hers. He was just like back in Atlanta. He was a high-ranking officer. The blame would be on her. If he spun it his way, he could say he was disciplining her, or that Amanda seduced him. A lot of really snarky comments from Amanda. Amanda's basically saying, "No, please don't do this. My husband, don't, please." Do we want to say what he did, or
No, we can say that. That might get his ban. Anyway, it's not consensual.
It's not consensual. He assaults her.
It's not. It's sexual assault, but we can't describe that to you. You have to go read it if you want to know exactly what it is.
Yeah. This is what you guys have to read. We're not gonna put it on.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
I was about to say not put it on the internet. We're gonna put it in the podcast. So we just want to say it is a trigger warning. When you guys get to read it, if it's triggering for you, you just you guys, readers know their own limits. If it's going to be triggering for you, you do not read it. You'll get the what happened afterwards in the rest of the story. So it's not like it's a key scene, but it won't take away from your reading experience if you don't read it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the Patton assaults Amanda.
Yeah.
Again. And then this is a thing that we've decided. So, Amanda is told to go clean up and get dressed. She can't. She never told anyone this, but she had a rape kit hidden in the back of her closet in the wall because she knew a day like this would happen, and it did. She felt broken, numb, ashamed. She was terrified. Her husband, her daughters, everything. She just wished she never woke up this morning to save them from this expense. She put on her clothes, went back into the room, wiped away her tears. Amanda said, and Patton says, good. You finally listened. Your husband signed the form, so I'll be on my way. I'll see you next time. Amanda and Sunny have a conversation. Amanda, it's a big conversation. It's like, Amanda doesn't even care about herself at this point. She just hopes that the girls and Sunny are okay. And Sunny is like, I want you to be okay. I feel like that's their dynamic when it comes to hard things in life. Amanda's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please tell me you didn't hear anything. Amanda's like, and Sunny's like, I heard him talking. I'm not mad at you. I can never be. I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop him from doing this again. Amanda's like, I just didn't want the girls to be arrested and taken away from us. They were playing music in their room, so they did not know what happened. Amanda's like, I'm your wife, and I let him do this. And Sunny's like, no, he forced himself on you. She said what he did, that he assaulted him again. I think I can read this. Amanda says, you are the only man who I ever want touching me, and he took that away from us. If you knew what almost happened, you would never forgive me. Amanda, you didn't get a choice. He knew what he was doing. He didn't care if you were married. He made it very clear. But no, you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to. More stuff I can't read, but you'll read.
Yeah, you guys can read.
Amanda basically says, I feel disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say except that. Sunny helps Amanda do the rape kit, so they have it. It was because we're literally like, they can't call a doctor to do it.
No.
The only person Sunny could do that right now was him, but Sunny's like, the fact that he had to do this made him sick to his stomach. But it was all he could do in case they ever got a chance to report him. Amanda and Sunny says, you are a survivor, Amanda Carisi. He just says, thank you for loving me and helping me through this. Yeah, keep going. And at the end, Amanda says, I don't know how you can look at me again like this after he did. Sunny says, because you're my wife, and I love you more than words can describe, and no one can take that away from us. Amanda says, he did take something away from us. He did something to me only you should. I don't want you to have to hide your feelings from me. You still here?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. The truth is, Amanda, I'm heartbroken because of what he did to you and what he took from us. He should be in jail for what he did. But I will never stop loving you no matter what. Finish the kit. Amanda needs space. She doesn't want Sunny to touch her. Sunny goes to take the girls to school. And at one point, it's like, I'm sorry, Amanda says, I'm sorry, honey, I'm sorry. I know I keep saying it, but I feel like everything I'm telling you is just breaking your heart, not because of him, but because of me. Basically, make sure the girls are okay. She would have to, at the end.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
I like heard other voices, and I was like, what?
That was me saying I'm turning.
Okay, so it says, later it says, Amanda would have to get the kit tested later, but through her pain, she saw a glimmer of justice for herself today and for herself years ago when Patton raped her and she never said a word. She got in the shower, scrubbed her skin raw. She hated Patton. She hated how her attire was like a 19th century housewife. Home had to model that. She hated the feeling of being less valuable because she was a woman. She wanted to take the corrupt system down. Her kit might be the first step to do so. Once she was done, she put on pajamas and just laid on her bed and started to cry again. She kept repeating to herself, one day, things will change for the better. She just wanted that day to be soon. Alright. I'm gonna let you read for a few minutes. I will be back.
Okay, cool. So, we're going back over to the Barba household for the second morning. It says, okay, over at the Barba household, Olivia was so slowly walking around that she knew she had to keep going. She made breakfast and lunches and spent a moment relaxing in her husband's embrace. The two were still picking up the pieces from last night, but they had each other. And Olivia starts with the first thing she says is, Rafa, I love you, but I need you to let go, or I need you to let go, or you and Noah are going to be late. It's just one more minute. Are you going to be okay? She says, yes, we'll use the paint. But yeah, he said, I think I need to fix this. But he says, are you okay? She says, yes. Uh, um, and she's good. When but they get I'll fix this in a second. Um, uh, I don't know what type we were typing here, but we'll fix it in a moment. And then they kiss one more time and get ready for the day. And then Noah comes to the kitchen with his school uniform on, which we didn't like describe yet, but like little boys kind of they wear like slacks and a button up and suspenders. Um, and then Olivia says, "Don't you look handsome, sweet boy?" And he says, "Thanks, mom. I don't hate the suspenders, but why they give us uniforms?" Olivia says, "They'll say it's to keep you safe and modest, but it's a means to control, show you should dress, how you should dress as a young boy, your cousins as young girls." And Noah says, "But we already dress modestly." And Olivia says, "I know, but the honest truth is modesty is really for girls, not boys. And so their bodies are covered, so no one can take advantage of them or do things they shouldn't." This is the life of a college student, you know. And Olivia thinks not that this real issue, not that that's not the real issue, but our world sucks. But she says, Noah says, "You taught us, mom, that it's not our fault if grown-ups try to do things they shouldn't." And she's not. You're right. You're exactly right. Now, if anyone tries to bother you or your cousins, you let us know. Raphael responds. Noah says, "Excuse me. I will. I promise." And then they go downstairs where Sunny is with the girls. Where's my spot? Olivia looks around to make sure no one was watching. He's just Sunny. Where's Amanda? And then Olivia saw the concern wearing on Sunny's face when asked, so that she said, "Can you take the kids aside, Raphael?" And he says, "Yes, I can." And the girls go. The girls go with Raphael and Noah, and Olivia and Sunny talk about what happened. And that Patton was their home inspector. Um, Olivia asks if she does.
I'm back,
Sunny,
but I'm moving
okay.
downstairs, so pause for like 2 seconds.
Okay, I'll keep reading then. Olivia asks, "Does Sunny want her to go over to talk to Amanda?" And he says yes. Is Raphael got to go see her if you're okay with taking Noah to school with the girls? He knows what he has to do. He knows that he has to be the model young boy and keep the girls in line. And then Sunny says, "I'll take him, but please be careful, all right? Raphael isn't supposed to be in my house without me being there yet. Because other men aren't supposed to be in your house without your husband, brother." And then he says, they say, "I'll have him stand outside in the hallway so that we aren't breaking any rules. Now, can you promise me something?" "Yes, I can." Sunny says, "Take care of yourself." This is a important line. "Take care of yourself so that you can support Amanda. I know what it's like to have to do something you don't want to do." "Are you okay, Liv?" "No. Let's just say you're not the only couple struggling because of a home check. All did ours. And I'll wait until Raphael's okay to share before I give you the details." And Sunny says, "We're here for you too as well. Is Friday still happening?" "After all of this, it definitely is. We'll see more details later." Meanwhile, Raphael is trying to keep the kids distracted. So, we're at the part where the girls.
Raphael's talking to the girls, and he's like, "How are you this morning?" And Jesse's like, "We're okay, but this man came to our house early this morning. He scared Mama and told her to be a good girl." And Raphael took a moment to let that sink in, and he realized Jesse was talking about Patton. Jesse continues, "He called Mama beautiful, but Daddy's the only one who should do that." Like, okay, first off, 6-year-olds, that's what they would think. Also, Jesse's very intuitive. And so, yeah. Billy says, "He was mean, but said we were pretty too. Just like Mama." Raphael looked at his two nieces, who just looked sad and confused, and made sure nobody else was around before pulling them both into a hug. Mis sobrinas, that means my nieces in Spanish, for people who don't know, I'm right here. I'm here for you too. I know everything is hard and scary right now, but we're still family. I'm so sorry he upset you and your mom. Noah says, I love you both too. I'm sorry. I'm eating a Jello, so if I stop talking, because I'm eating.
I should go eat those cookies I bought, but that's a later problem.
All right. When your daddy's ready, you know we're gonna walk you to school. Can you promise me both to listen to them carefully? Raphael says. Yes, Uncle Rafa. The girls say. The girls are very brave, and I promise we'll have to talk through this morning together when your parents are ready. Raphael's like, be good for your uncle and watch over your cousins. No one knows what he has to do. This is when we get to the bad things again.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one of us came up with this, but yeah, we went with it. About partway through their walk with the kids, Sonny sees a police officer looking at him and the kids. He knew exactly what this was, and it was always the worst part of being in public with his daughters. It was a wellness check to make sure Sonny was following the laws and that his girls were following the rules. Sonny greets the officer. The kids all say good morning as they're expected. Officer says, all very polite children I see, but last time I checked, you didn't have a son. They're basically like introducing Noah. They ask who his parents are. This is another thing, like a writing thing. It's just whenever we write, I'm always so used to writing Olivia and Raphael. But because in this society, like, the husband comes first, we wrote Raphael and Olivia Barba. They asked me to take him to school today so he could show my daughters what is expected of them. The officer says, very well, this young man is going to be a model leader. Start them off young. And then we find out that uniform checks for the girls is now required. The girls cling closer to their dad, and Sonny took a deep breath before speaking. Girls, you need to do what the officer says. This is the hard part, and I think I can roll with it, but you came up with a uniform idea, and that's like, this is what's gonna happen when we do it. Anyway, Jesse and Billy stepped forward so the officer can check their uniforms. Sonny had to keep his steady as he watched the officer looking his girls over. It took everything in him not to intervene when the officer took out a ruler and moved Jesse's skirt to measure it.
This part, I came up with this because this actually happened to me in real life, in high school. But it was by, like, our principal was a woman, though, so this wasn't as awkward, but she definitely...
He didn't want pain. That's so weird to me. I mean, like, my high school, like, we had, like, a rule, like, back when our dress code, we actually had a dress code, like, we had to have, like, skirts not go past our, the skirts had to go past our fingertips. But anyway, he didn't want this man anywhere near her, and he could tell his older daughter was trying to cry, trying not to cry. The officer says everything is order. Sonny says, thank you, officer. The officer nodded and walked away, and Sonny immediately went over to Jesse. This is the line that I came up with, and I started crying immediately after I wrote it.
Oh, so many times. Oh, boy.
Hold on. Daddy, he touched my skirt, and I didn't like it. Jesse says as she starts to cry. Yep, we're just going to let that sit for a moment. Daddy, he touched my skirt, and I didn't like it. Sonny says, I'm right here, Jess. He's gone. Jesse starts crying through Dad's chest, and Sonny was heartbroken. I didn't want him to do it. Why did he? Jesse says. Sonny says, because it's the rules now, honey. I wish I could give you more answers. I'm so sorry. Jesse sniffles, and Billy hugs her sister, and the two cling to their dad again. Noah says, Uncle Sonny, I have a question. Why didn't my uniform get checked? And this is the hard part, because I literally was like, I have to find a reason for why Sonny would say this out loud. Because this is not something Sonny would ever said. Well, this whole part anyway. It says, because the government believes that women and girls shouldn't be a stumbling block for men and boys, you looked in order so he didn't bother. But Noah's like, a stumbling block, but Jesse looks fine. And Sunny continues, I know, we made sure of that, but it's so that if someone did something to her, it wouldn't be their fault they fell to temptation. And Sunny was like, I just said that out loud. Are you kidding me? I think we kind of a contradictory though. Because earlier we said that the crimes are only crimes if they happen to children.
Yeah. Hold on, I lost where my spot was.
Yeah. I know we earlier said the crimes are only crimes if they happen to children, but like,
Yeah, but I guess I think we were when he was answering the question.
Somehow there would be an explanation.
I think the explanation I wrote that line was that this line was meant like in females in general. I think
females in general. Yep.
I think that's what I meant.
That's why. That's why the next line is, "But we're kids. It wouldn't be Jesse's fault. You and my parents taught me that." And Jesse adds, "And I don't want anyone to hurt me." So he's like, "I know, kids. We would do everything we can to protect. We do everything we can to protect you from bad people, but in the world we live in, what I just said could very well be used as a defense if someone did something to Jesse." Jesse says, "Thank you, Daddy, for explaining. I know you didn't mean that. You're nice. It's kind of scary outside the house." And then Billy, being the 3-year-old that she is, "I protect Jesse." Because, I don't know. God, I can't wait to see her on screen because I feel like that's how it would be. Alright, you all have to protect each other and come to us if something is happening that upsets you. Sometimes I will have to act differently, but it doesn't change that I love you all. Sunny pulls the 3 kids into a hug. Tight hug, not kidding. Everyone was watching. The kids all have been through something very difficult the past few days, and he wanted them to all know he wasn't going anywhere. Alright, I'm going to take a jello break if you want to keep reading.
Okay, cool. Okay, so they get to school. We need to give someone else a job because we felt like it.
At least it's close to what her job was before.
Yes. So we decided that Lucia is the check-in assistant at school, Raphael's mom. And they're all very polite, and they tell her good morning.
Noah has to correct himself because he almost
says saying he's about to say abuela, but then he's like, wait, I can't say that. They talk a little. Well, the kids go to class. Lucia takes the kids to class, and then Sunny is very distraught, and he takes a moment to himself. He cries.
He falls to the ground, starts crying.
Yes, he's very distraught.
For Amanda, for Jesse, for Billy, for Olivia, for anyone in his family who had been hurt by the sick and twisted society they were forced to live in. After a moment, Sunny stood up, looked to the sky, and did his cross. It was a silent prayer, a vow to fight this. He had a lot of work to do to help his family and therefore himself heal. Alright, jello break again.
Okay, so I gotta get up, turn the lights on. I'm in this room for several hours. I have to get up because the chair is in the corner of the room, but the light dispenser is in front of the door.
I gotta love that.
So I have to get up every and see that I'm still here. Okay. Okay. So meanwhile, back at Olivia. Olivia and Raphael had just arrived at the Carisi apartment. Yeah. So Olivia gives him a symbol okay, Raphael, I told Carisi that you would stay in the hallway while I talk to Amanda. Knock on the door twice if you need to warn us of anything. And then he says, okay, be safe. Take care of yourself. I love you. And she says, I love you too. And then Amanda to the apartment. That's a little bit of a plot discussion. She can never that it was locked. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
We're pretty much assuming they would be someone.
Yeah, they would have keys to each other's apartment.
They would. Because we know Amanda has keys to live.
So it was his apartment. Yes. They should have used that more often. They just did she use it?
Olivia, Amanda's done that 3 times.
Yeah, Amanda should have gone over to her house more. Like, nobody ever goes to see Liv. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Amanda, it's Liv. And Amanda says she's in the bedroom, and
Amanda explains what Patton did. Patton insulted me again. Sonny was in the other room. She tells him what happened. That basically kind of said, this is a kind of similar thing to the first time. The first time Amanda said yes, so that her sister wouldn't be arrested. And she was basically coerced into this. And then it got worse, and Patton raped her. Now, Amanda said yes, so that her family wouldn't get arrested, and she wouldn't be separated from Sonny and the girls, and that they could pass their home check, but she didn't want it. So it's like similar.
Then they're kind of talking, and then
Amanda was like, it's basically the only thing she was worried about was like the whole time she was literally like, please let Sonny be okay. He shouldn't have had his wife used by another man. I almost betrayed him. And Olivia's like, he hurt you because he could and you couldn't report him. I know what it's like to be taken advantage of by men in power. Amanda's like, did something happen to you? And Olivia's like, I'm fine. I'm taking care of you right now. That's a very similar thing the two have. She's like, when Amanda has an issue, she's like, I'm fine. And Olivia's like, I'm going to help you. When Olivia's having an issue, she's fine. And Amanda's like, I'm going to help you. It's like, they're like, they're the two people they can actually, like, tell things to and know that when they say, I'm fine. No, not fine.
You're not fine.
So, where's Olivia gonna get that from this? From now? God, let it be Ayana, or I'm not, like, I don't know.
We can think about that right now, okay?
Nope, don't try. Every time I'm trying not to. Okay. Amanda's like, Liv, I don't want you to have to suffer in silence either. Olivia told Amanda what happened at her house check last night, that Elliot came over. Raphael, she snapped. Raphael had to face the consequences of my actions, and Elliot had him spank her 5 times. And then Amanda, like, brings up the trial. She's like, Elliot spent all that time saying he loved you, or whatever he defined as love, and then decided to make your life hell after he had to deal with the consequences of hurting you. Olivia's like, I don't know if he wants revenge. He's doing his job for both. Either way, he cursed both of us. And then Olivia's like, I couldn't sleep last night. Raphael took care of me and stood up with me through the pain and my nightmares. Amanda's like, I haven't slept since I found out Patton was acquitted of his crime, and now I know all the nightmares are gonna come flying back. I can't even let Sonny touch me without being triggered, and it hurts because I love him so much. Amanda tells Olivia that they had the rape kit, and Amanda's like, I knew this day was coming. I just hope Sonny and the girls wouldn't have been in the house when it happened. They need to get it tested before it's too late. And I love that you put this. And you said you wrote for Olivia. And she said, I remember the day we set up the station to pass out at-home kits before the country changed. There's a secret organization that still has access to the technology to test kits. It's a group of nurses do this in their free time. The only thing, it's too far to walk, but I know who runs it. And this is my idea, because I was literally trying to, like, think of what.
Almost every character
has a job that's, like, similar, kind of, to what they did before. So, Ken and Alejandro. Ken is a doctor now, but he never forgot his former job as a social worker. We didn't know what Alejandro did, so we just said that Alejandro is a technician who takes care of the technological side of testing the kits. I can call them and see if they can help us. We don't know how to get there. We could wait until Sunny and Raphael get off work. We could still take the subway. Problem with that is you have to have documentation of where you're going. And Olivia's like, it might be a risk if we play it, but if we play it right, I can get them to come here. I just can't walk anymore right now. And then Amanda's like, we can call Phoebe and she can call Ken. If phone records are checked, they won't be suspicious because Phoebe is calling her stepson.
Yeah.
And Olivia's like, smart thinking of, oh, fuck. Oh, God. Again, we wrote this a month ago.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh,
How much suffering do we really call that? This is what happens when you write suffering. You realize.
I have watched. We're gonna get this line in the show too.
Yep.
And then I'll cry.
Amanda.
Olivia says, smart thinking, Amanda. And then Amanda says, once a cop, always a cop, Liz. Okay. The two women look at each other and just pull each other into a hug. Life is hard, but their friendship is strong. Alright. This is a fun part. So we're back with Ayana and Denise, and they were opening their box of uniforms and instructions. Ayana's like, these are ridiculous. And then Denise is like, did you expect any less? How bad is it? She said, it's bad. A lot about stuff, submission and stuff, and remember our place as women and our servitude is a punishment for our crimes and will be treated as such. We are not allowed to leave Finn's house unless Phoebe is with us. We have less freedoms than we had before. And Denise is like, we have each other, and we have Jack. I won't say it'll be easy. We have love to get us through. And they're like, alright, let's see how bad the uniforms are. Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay. Denise takes the uniforms out of the box and hands one to Ayana. They were plain dark green dresses that went down to the floor. There were aprons that came with them. And this is your line. You can read it if you want, and I'll read them.
I lost my spot because I closed the app, then I lost my spot.
Alright, I can read it.
I got it.
Okay.
Whoever designed these took the description of the Martha and the Handmaid's Tale too literally. We watched the show, saw the signs, but didn't know this would be our reality.
We were lucky because we were a cop and a lawyer, but other black women dealt with either being married off, indoctrinated to be teachers or nurses, or whatever undesirable job they made women do. I gotta put a comma, because being a teacher is not an undesirable job. I am one.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
it was a messed up. Being a teacher was a messed up thing, though. I probably added nurses to this list, but we didn't do that. We added that later.
Okay. They said they're gonna go get changed. And this is the thing that I wanted to think of, and I wanted to check with you before we did it. Because one of the big things they do with Ayana, because she is a black woman, and they have a lot of input on this from Danielle, is they let Danielle decide, at least I'm pretty sure, or they work with her to decide what Ayana's hairstyle is going to be. And so that's a lot of her. This is a question I have for you. Are they're like hairstyles for black women? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So yeah, all the hairstyles that Ayana has are hairstyles for black women. And like the picture that you sent me of the Marthas had like I don't know, like a wimple or whatever covering her head, and I was like, I think we should do it without it, so that we can.
Yeah, because nobody else has their hair covered. They just all ponytail.
Respect like Danielle and Ayana's thing of their hair. Yeah. So that's why I wrote the line that said, "Well, at least I don't have to cover my hair." Denise is like, "We look okay," and Ayana's like, "I hate it, but not as much as I thought it would." And green is your color, baby. And I literally only going off of that once of like that scene in Organized Crime where they go to the art gallery and Ayana has like this black pantsuit with like purple, and Denise is wearing like this green dress, and ever since then I'm like, all right, Denise's color is green and we're going with it.
Yes. We need more good moments, but they ruined
We
it
do.
anyway.
Yeah, literally. If we get family court or whatever, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, anyway. Thank you, honey. This will take getting used to it. We can do it. The two women stood out of the bathroom, go wake up to wake up Jack, and to their surprise, he's awake and giggling. Hey, Giannis says, "Our child is laughing at us," and he's like, "Mommy, Mama, pretty." And she's like, "I stand corrected." They pick him up, and they're like, "You think we look pretty, baby?" And he's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Well, at least we have his approval on the uniforms." So they all go over to the house. Phoebe made breakfast this morning. She didn't want to trouble the two. Finn is like, "I see you got the box. Sorry about the outfits. You only have to wear them in our house, in public, in your home. You can wear whatever you want." They have special, like, nicer outfits for church on Sunday. They have to go get clothes for Jack, but they're gonna take his input. And they said, he likes his favorite color is blue. He likes animals. We know nothing about the child. This is what we're going with.
Typical 1-year-olds.
We only know his name.
That's it.
Jackson
His
Bell
name.
Bullock.
Yes, that was it. Never mentioned him. Never
Well, I don't know what it's gonna be now, but you know.
Not even a picture of him on Ayana's desk or anything. Like, come on, y'all. Please, something.
Like, even if it is literally just a baby on a picture on the desk, like, give it.
Picture of a baby.
Oh my god, we're probably gonna get that now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, nope, I just got this idea. The first scene we have in Ayana sitting down at her desk, she like says a picture of her wife and her kid, and it was like
suffering.
Okay, anyway. They talk about Jack is like, "I want his teddy bear." They go shopping. They find out that the stores are different for upper class women and middle class women. You can only speak when spoken to. You'll mostly just be talking to me and tending to Jack. Because another thing we had was that they're not only just attendants, they're also Jack's nanny. So they could still technically take care of the kid, but in secret.
Yeah.
They get a new. I forgot we said we got a new car.
Oh yeah, they did. I didn't figure.
Joe's like, "When did you?" Phoebe's like, "Joe, when did you get this car?" And she's like, "I got an email saying the commander had your vehicle upgraded to suit the family. Now that they've got Jack and apparently young niece." And Phoebe's like, "As much as I hate the man, Finn's position has its perks. I have to be grateful because now I know many don't have this." They all get in the minivan. They all start talking about Friday. And Joe is like, "Kathleen is joining us. How we figured out about a location. They're thinking their house, because Ben and Phoebe have an actual house, but they have to be careful with nosy neighbors." And then Phoebe is like, Ayana's like, "We've been out of the loop. How are things going?" Phoebe's like, "Kathleen Stabler has been giving us information that we discuss in our meetings." And this is when Joe tells people, "She's my girlfriend, but nobody but her siblings, grandmother, and Finn and Phoebe know." And Denise is like, "I'm happy for you two, but forgive me for saying this, but how are you sure you can trust her?" And Joe's like, "She hates this world as much as the rest of us. Ever since what happened with her dad and Olivia at trial, her kids can't stand him. She hates even more. Her dad wants to find her a suitor. She goes to the balls and banquets and learns information for us. Kathleen is like a spy, and her dad has no idea."
Yeah.
And Ayana's like, "How did you end up dating Kathleen with her dad finding out?" And they're like, "We were kept it casual at first. And the world changed. We decided to make it official. But if anybody found out they were together, they'd be arrested for treason."
Yeah, treason's a big thing. It's quite easy to get arrested for treason, but they haven't done it.
But they're only like, because Stabler is the captain of the wall, he has to make treason by breaking the sanctity of marriage and purity. Dating isn't permitted. Yada yada yada. Courting has to be approved by the father of the woman. And then Joe says, He doesn't even know me that well, but he does know that I worked with Olivia and that I'm Latino, so I doubt he approved me. That part I'm iffy about, but considering he said to a black woman that she was profiling him,
Yeah.
gonna go with the fact that
He's
maybe he wouldn't be
quite
able to.
racially insensitive.
Yeah. I don't think his interactions with Velasco would be great. If he found out he was dating his daughter, I don't know. It could just be for the story. This is what we're going with. And Joe continues and says, even though I am Catholic, I just want to give Kathleen the world. Because we found out that Velasco was Catholic from his episode where the girls gets taken from.
Yes.
And Denise is like, and you would? Phoebe is like, Saban wants to keep up his good image and surprised to let him get by without being married. And then we get in this fun conversation of Joe's like, because of how he left Kathy, and Yana's like, but he also tried to pursue Olivia. And then the Phoebe's like, yeah, since when has the government cared about that? She wasn't already married. She'd be his whether she wanted it or not. They get the phone call. Olivia says they need Ken to ask. Can he come over to Amanda's apartment? It's rather important. It's kept secret. Phoebe finds out it's not good. The group asks what happened. And she said no, something happened to Amanda. Phoebe calls Ken. Tells him that he needs the private services and gives him Bones' address. Phoebe tells the group that Ken is the lead in a secret organization that helps victims of, sexual assault, that's spousal, or from people of power that abuse their position. They still have the technology available to run kits. They're kept and stored there in their hideout where they work. I mentioned this in the other recording, but if you remember it and me saying thing about Velasco and Amanda in this moment, that I was like, crap, this is the moment. Joe nearly slams on the brakes saying that. Wait, that means, oh God, Amanda. And he starts crying. And he's like, we only worked together for a short time, but she was my partner and like a sister to me. If someone hurt her, oh frick, what? This hurts more now. I really hope it's not, but it is. But all right. Phoebe's like, I'm sorry. It's okay. He needs to pull over and take a minute. Once they get to the store, she literally just starts crying. And he's like, Phoebe's like, we're right here. He says, thank you. I know I'm not supposed to put my feelings in the job. Phoebe's like, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't care what your job description says right now. You're allowed to have feelings. You're human. And he's like, I get rather lonely with this job. Thank you to you and Finn for caring and treating me like a friend and not just a driver. You're a member of the family. I've known you for a while now, as has Finn, and we took care of our own. That goes for Kathy now as well. And of course, you ladies too. Alright, we get to the store. And they have to do like these the big thing with this scene, I was like, Phoebe has to treat them like her tenants, but she also wants to make sure she's doing everything okay for Jack. Yeah. And making sure she's respecting them as well. Because she's literally like, what size clothes does your child wear? You sent me all these cute little pictures of little outfits, the little bow ties and suspenders, and we're like, yes, because I could picture it, and he would look adorable. Most little kids I was also like I don't know. I was also picturing. I forget what the hat is called. It's like a flat newsboy, like a news
Yeah,
like
I know what
newsboy
you mean.
hat. And Jack is really excited about his clothes. Um, and Phoebe's like has to tell him to put the stuff in the cart. Yana and Denise have to call Phoebe Miss. Um, Phoebe is still nice about like asking them
Oh yeah. Oh boy, I forgot this part.
opinion, and they're like, we neither of them knew they were allowed to give their full opinion, so they're like, they look very handsome. They pick out a few more outfits. They head to the toy section, and this is where we get a new character,
Yeah.
an
He
original
changed quite
character.
dramatically.
They literally are walking down the aisle, and they come face to face with the commander's wife. So the governor's wife.
Yeah. She changes dramatically throughout the story.
She did, and I love her development.
Yeah, we give her some development. For now, she's not.
Phoebe is like, oh no, and this is where you find out her name. Her name is Mrs. Winters. So they greet each other. Phoebe, Winter, Mrs. Winters is like, I didn't know you had a kid. And Phoebe's like, I just adopted him. My husband and I don't keep quiet about it, but now that I have extra help, I decided to bring it out shopping with me today. When Mrs. Winters introduces herself to Jack, Young and Denise were watching this carefully because they knew the woman was sweet, acted sweet, but she was still strict at times as well. Mrs. Winters is asking about Young and Denise, and Phoebe's like, they've been wonderful help so far. And she's like, make sure they know what's expected of them. We can't have them causing trouble. And Phoebe's like, she knew what she has to do next. She felt her heart sink as she did it. She turned around to face Deanna and Denise. They know what's expected of them, don't you, ladies? They both say, yes, ma'am, we do. She walks away, keeps shopping, says she's gonna see them on Saturday for dinner. She leaves, and Ayana, Denise, and Phoebe let out a breath and didn't know they were holding. Phoebe says, Sarah Winters is nice, but if you end up on her bad side, she'll make you miserable. She demands respect as a figurehead and model of wives everywhere. You two have to tread carefully. Even giving her a look she doesn't like will land you in prison. Ayana then
She was
says,
very something at the beginning of her story. Now she's not the same person she was.
no, development, y'all.
Don't be hating on Sarah too much, okay? That's all we have to say.
She says,
you can hate her for now.
We understand, we'll be careful. She must be a joy of formals then. She's no one is allowed to dress better than her. She and her husband are going to be the two who will ask the most of you. Forgot we put that. We can't tell them no. Having the commander and his wife will be a big ordeal. Can't slip up because I'll have you arrested and punished. I forgot we did this. We're a friend of ours is in the prison where the keep woman whose crime needed a different punishment besides servitude. She tried to do what we have, and she was caught by Alana Barth, who now serves on the Council of Womanhood. This is what I like to call backwards development. I used to love Barth. Then she became a
the show
now I can't stand her.
Well, the show did it to us, so we were like, let's give her a job.
The actress.
This is what we talk about. She's the only woman in power. Well, not really.
One of the very few women in power.
But technically, she's not. It's people above her, but she runs. She has people underneath her, so therefore, she has some sort of power.
Yeah, she's a character I love to hate. Anyway.
Yeah, we made her even more. It was just gonna be fun to write in a little bit when we get to that part.
Yeah. She had spies infiltrate Rita's meeting.
We didn't talk about the
Yeah, Rita Calhoun, y'all.
Yeah, she's a little. They did not. Approve of her being
She would not. She was arrested and flogged publicly until she told everything she knew. She refused, so they locked her up, and she spends her days working the farms where our food is grown. Ayana says, God, I remember that. Raphael was devastated. They wrap up at the talking. They go find toys. Jack is really excited and sees a toy piano. He starts to say, mama. So he goes, Mimi, ma. And he starts to say mama. Phoebe picks Jack out of the stroller. And she's like, okay, let's distract him with the toy.
Yeah.
And he
You can't be
says,
sick.
would you like the toy, Jack? Piano Jack? And he says, yes, please. And they all stop because they realize this is a new word to him. And they can't celebrate right now. And Phoebe didn't want to take it away from them, so she just said, very good asking. Picked up the toy piano, put him in the carriage. Phoebe finds a little stuffed puppy, but she remembers that he has the teddy bear. She wanted to ask what they thought of it without asking. She's like, what do you two think of this? They like it. And Yana's like, she whispers to Phoebe, she says, he can have a special gift from his Mimi and his mom's. It's okay. Phoebe's like, I just wanted to make sure. He gets very excited about the puppy. Then he says, it's a gift from Mimi. And he says, Mimi, present. Thank you. That's another new word. Hold on, I'm changing it because it says gift and present. I'm changing it so it says present. To all, Phoebe sees that Ayana and she's really just trying hard to remain neutral. But since it was Jack's nannies, they're technically Jack's nannies, they asked Jack to hold. She asked them, hold Jack. And they were very grateful about that. They go check out, we were specific when we said Singe credit cards. Women don't have credit cards. Because they don't have jobs. So they can't get money.
They don't own anything.
They don't own anything. Everybody gets in the car, put everything away. They lock the door, and Joe and Velasquez like, okay, ladies, the coast is clear. You are free to actually speak how you want. And Phoebe's like, I think you two have something exciting to talk about. They get to celebrate him talking about his 2 new words. Phoebe wants to make sure that she wasn't too harsh. That when they get home, they can celebrate, and then they're going to go pick up their stuff. All right. So, Ayana and Phoebe go in. They grab Ayana the wedding rings. And she starts to tear up because she didn't want them for so long. The painted family portrait. They have to get Jack's stuff. And Phoebe is like interested to see what she said. Ayana grabs Jack's blanket and teddy bear along with his toy laptop. Phoebe smiles when she sees it. I bet I know exactly who got from that. Ayana says it was Jet. She's his aunt, and she loves him so much. He hasn't seen her in a while, but every time he plays with the laptop, he says her name. They had to say, Phoebe has to say, I'm glad, but I need to let you know that she's going to keep being his aunt. It has to be a secret. Upper class people don't associate with middle class people. And they're like, but isn't Malika higher up because of his job? They said, no, he hasn't moved up in the ranks of the tech industry yet. Damn good at his job, which the poor kid hates the majority of the time, but he's young and not trustworthy to them yet. And I was like, I don't know how you keep track of all this. Phoebe says it's the copy me, but even more so to protect her. I don't want anyone getting hurt because of the system. So Fran and I have learned the rules. We hold on to each other so we don't lose ourselves in the process. Ayana says, if you ask me, the fact that you two risked everything to help Denise and I prove you haven't lost anything.
The lights turned off.
Not again. We talk about how young adults are married off to men. The government knows. We'll keep them in line. and young men are monitored and moved up in the ranks in different jobs the more they are indoctrinated. And Yana's like, I have an big ask for you. Whenever Jet is at your place, please keep her safe. The day she found out society was changing, she was angry and devastated, but what chilled me the most was watching her watch the marriage ceremony. She was slowly retreating into her shell. Malachi brought her back out. I just need her to be okay, even if that means she won't have to treat me horribly. Phoebe says that Jet occasionally comes for Sunday tea when she feels up for it. As I'm sure you can probably guess, it's not always her favorite thing. But everything changed even at least Malachi's house. Then she learned if she left and tried to grow a bit more socially, the more she could learn for our group. She's blossomed into this beautiful young warrior that is going to surprise our government when they least expect it. So yeah, we kind of made Jet like still go into her cop roots by like playing along with everything, and everyone's like, nobody's going to expect her to be doing anything, and that's a good thing. Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, please like comment if you want to. I feel like I'm.
Yeah, I don't have anything at the moment. I'm trying to
Oh,
think.
cool.
That needs to be like deeply explained.
Oh yeah. She said something is like, I think we both know her and Malachi weren't going to let that stop them from using technology. She's a genius. No one will be able to track her, but I promise I'll keep her safe. This is the big thing behind it. This is she's like, they really thought a bunch of cops and lawyers were going to accept everything. I feel like I should change that because you got cops and lawyers. Or you could probably change it to, they really thought we were going to accept everything. Because they have cops and lawyers that are like bad cops and lawyers.
I guess it could be former cops and lawyers.
Yeah, that works. They really thought a bunch of former cops and lawyers were going to accept everything. Yeah, this is they thought wrong. They do grocery shopping. But this is the same that I picked because I love it. So, they asked about food. I decided to say that Ayana can cook, and that she has Creole recipes she loves. And I picked them, said that specifically because when she was younger, Danielle was actually the like human model for Tiana, Princess Tiana and Disney's Princess and Frog. Like she did like a whole bunch of like behind the scenes things of like almost like the like a live action thing of the scenes, and then they animated it. She also put Tiana Disneyland, so I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot that.
Yeah. So we thought that worked really well. Oops.
And then Ayana was like, please cook. I need them to stop doing it. I can't cook. If they don't like it, then they should do it themselves. And I was like, lift a finger. Don't think so. Then we find out how bad people are. They have 8 servants who they treat horrible. Sarah freaked out because one of them didn't get the crease at her dress one banquet night. She hadn't hand spanked until they were raw for a punishment. Oh, we have a line.
They might have more attendance than that.
We have a line we need to fill in.
You only named like 2 of them. Anyway.
We have a line we need to fill in. Do you see it? Because I put it there because I had nothing for it then.
Oh, yeah. We'll fill it.
Pause.
We're filling a line. Because sometimes we just put like a response or a particular person's response. We never put it there. We don't
we can't. If we don't have any at the moment, we're like, response. I'm going to fill it in later.
Continuing. I don't think this line really.
Alright, Jack says Teddy. He's really excited to mention his teddy bear back. The 2 women get their wedding rings back. Alright, they're like, yeah, Jack, you got your teddy. Then Ken arrives at the Creasy apartment. He's surprised Raphael is there. Raphael's like, I'm here as a lookout. Since Ken is like, this is what I do to help people, Olivia's like, your father should be very proud of you. I won't tell you everything, but it's not good. He says if he is proud, is it okay for me to see Amanda? It wasn't until I wrote this line that I remembered that Phoebe was technically Ken's stepmom.
Yeah.
She said, "Hi Amanda, my stepmom asked me to come over to assist you in whatever you needed." She said, "Thank you. She mentioned that she was assaulted by the same man who raped her nearly 20 years ago. They talk about how she gives him the rape kit. Ken says, "You're not the first family I've had to do this for, particularly from Putnam. The blue ball abuses their power to assault women and gets away with it." Amanda's heart sinks, but she wasn't surprised. And she talks about how I knew he would do this to me one day. He did it to another woman years ago and claimed it was consensual. It's who he is, but I can't thank you enough for believing me. And the other woman's done this too. No one believed me back in Atlanta. I know Maddie still won't, but he doesn't realize I have a family now. I hope that maybe this kit will do something good. They're hoping these kits will do something to put all the men who hurt women behind bars one day. And Ken says, SVU has to exist, but in a new and different way. Doing what I can is what I'll do. The government thinks I run a small clinic for people who need it, which is also true, but helping victims is how I can really help. Amanda says, "You are a good man, Ken Randall." Then Ken says, we know you too, and my father helped my family so much when Alejandro was assaulted. We saw hope. I saw him smile again because we fought for justice for him. Now I'm going to do this for you. Ken says, we gotta do this. That they have clinic volunteers. I can give you subway passes so they can help people. They are like, are you coming on Friday?
We jumped around and they wrote a lot of stuff, so not everything is like exactly
in order.
Or like we're like this, it is in order, but a lot of it is.
We'll
but
try
not
to make it clear. We're gonna read everything we have, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Raphael and Sunny are talking because he gets home from his lunch break. And Raphael's like, I don't know anything that happened. I'm so sorry. Raphael's like, your girls were telling me about your truck this morning. They were very confused and upset about why another man was calling Amanda beautiful, and he said they were pretty like her. Raphael tells Sunny. Sunny tells Raphael about what happened to Jesse on the way to school, and he says, I feel like this would be a really point thing for Pete, for not only for Sunny with the girls, but for Peter, because he does have a daughter. Mm-hmm. Jessie was practically in tears because the officer moved her skirt to measure it, and when he left, she looked right at me and said that she didn't like it. She was so upset, and I had to tell all 3 kids that they do this so that my little girl doesn't tempt anyone. And Raphael says, it makes me angry that someone would take advantage of kids and take advantage of kids. I don't want to blame them. Sunny says, I feel helpless. My girls are terrified, Jessie especially. My wife was put through hell this morning. I'm supposed to stand by it when it happened. Even worse, I'm expected not to care. Then Raphael tells Sunny what Elliot and him do last night. Mm-hmm. Raphael says, I hated seeing my wife crying in pain. I was the cause. Silver told us we had to keep our door open as I did it. I had to hurt her because he said so. He made Olivia apologize to him and they left. I took care of Olivia all night through her pain and her nightmares. I hadn't seen her like this in a long time. The trauma-induced nightmares she has are a struggle for her.
My phone on the floor.
They were literally like, we need a plan. Think of this as much as we can. Sunny says there's an upper-level officers are talking about how they arrested a group of young adults who planned to revolt. Luckily, it wasn't anybody they know. but they were being transported to camps that they used to indoctrinate them and make them good members of society. That's kind of where Rita is.
Yeah.
Or is it separate? Anyway, Raphael says, that horrid place. I hope the kids will be okay. And then Olivia, Amanda, and Sunny go talk. It was like, literally, like, I was trying to think of, like, what do they say to each other now? And they literally just went with a simple, hi,
Mhm.
how are you? Amanda missed Sunny. She said, I missed you too. I wanted to check. Sorry, Sunny missed Amanda. No, wait. Amanda missed Sunny. Yes. I missed you too, Amanda. I wanted to check on you during my lunch break, and I need to tell you something, but it can wait if you need me to give you space. Sunny tells Amanda what happened to Jessie on the way to school. Amanda was heartbroken. Her little girl was traumatized now, just like she was. I hate everything. I hate that everything is like this. My children are treated less than because they are girls. And Olivia says they told Noah this morning about the uniforms and couldn't understand why it was a necessary thing if other people were the problem. And so he said Raphael was telling me the girls were confused and upset that I called their mother beautiful and that they were beautiful like her. It makes me sick to my stomach and I can't even do anything about it. What kind of man stands by with the most important people in his world or get hurt? Man says, Sonny, no, I don't blame you. You did something that could have been worse for me and the girls. Olivia says, we know your heart, Sonny. That's why even in this world, I've let no one be with you. You and Raphael show him how a man should truly be. Sonny's like, I couldn't protect my wife or daughter. Olivia's like, you did it in a different way. Amanda and the girls are still with you. You kept the family together and safe. You were able to get a job that you were okay with and take care of your family. Amanda said, I wouldn't be able to get through this without you, Sonny, and our girls need their father. They all, Amanda says she's gonna get dressed. The adult, Sonny and Olivia go in the kitchen. She's like, I can't keep doing this. This isn't how it's be. Since they're at their home, the guys decide to take their burden, off of the woman for now, and they go cook. The guys are talking. They're like, when's the last to cook? Occasionally on the weekends. Sometimes I have to work late or weekends when publishing needs to be done. I cook to get my mind off the nauseating propaganda I have to publish. And Sunny's like, how bad is it? And Raphael says, bad. But we command this order. That's the manifesto. It's being revised and sent out soon. There's also those approved Bibles being sent out. Sunny said, Jesus would scream if he saw them. It's not what God would want for anyone. Raphael says, whenever I can, I work on publishing kids' books. Gives me some joy. There's still a few good ones out there that haven't been caught onto by the government. They approved one about teaching kids about what's expected of them and such. I like these little things. They need fluff in this story. Then he says, the girls who read the superhero Princess Money gave them cover to cover. And said, I'm glad it's something to make them happy in this dark world. The guys serve the women's lunch and they eat. Alright. This is fun.
Yeah, this
part.
is our last little section for this, because this is going to be the longest of long.
Well,
Jen and I'll come
you
up
said we're just gonna
with-
keep talking until your iPad died, so let's do it.
We'll have to take a iPad almost like that.
Alright.
Jellicoe will be for this video. For this
Alright.
time of the video, this is a podcast. You can't see anything. It's
I
audio.
feel like this should be chapter 3.
Yeah, do you want to just stop it here and we'll make that chapter 3? Going into Jellicoe chapter 3.
Yeah. Are we still reading or are we stopping?
We're stopping because I got it. My iPad is almost dead and I got it.
Okay.
So
Cool.
this
Alright,
is
so
like
yeah,
2 hours though. This is long.
That's the beginning of our read through of this story.
It is. We literally read you guys and explained. We also have a lot of explaining to do later.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you get to read the bad ending. Well, it's not an ending. It's a there's alternate to the alternate story. Some of their plan may work, it may not, but you know,
All right.
well, it will.
Thanks.
It will. We'll find out what happens. So.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah. We'll put that poll out after it. It'll do it in the morning. Oh, the lights turn off.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a sign.
Poll in the morning sounds fine to me. All right.
We'll
bye-bye.
keep writing. All right. Bye. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.